Okay, give me a second. Start video. Let's check it out. Cool. We can grab the link. And I get it open. Sure. Okay, there we go. You Black Beauty, she got back fast. Okay, here we go, y'all. We're gonna give this. Let y'all come up so y'all can get co-host hosts and all that good old stuff. Because I am gonna jump in the shower. Okay? I'll be going through, y'all know, these sweating spells and things. And I feel like I've been up for 24 hours, even though I haven't. Hey, S, how you doing, sis Mew? What's going on? Let me pin this real quick. So I got it pinned. It's 8 people in the chat. We only got 2 thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. We only got 3 thumbs up. That includes one of mine. Okay, hit the thumbs up. Black Dahlia, how you doing, sis? How you doing? Okay. Hit them thumbs up and come on in. When y'all, if y'all find the J Prince and what you call them argument, y'all let me know. Put it in a link or email it or something so we can talk about it later. Wait, did somebody come in?
Oh, yeah, that was me, Bob. I'm in here.
Oh, okay, you see, you could tell when I'm tired. I know I hit to let somebody come in, then I forgot. Just that quick. You on the computer?
Yeah, I'm at home on the computer now.
Okay, so you good. We're having the host.
Yeah, I'll be here for a minute.
Okay. The lady said it coming up to help you. You know, that church thing was damn. He 5 years, but he still get to keep some of that $1 million. Maybe he spent the other because they said they wanted. It was almost $1 million he got to return. I want to do those people actually have to give money back. Okay, they file for like bankruptcy and shit. You know what I mean? I wonder, do they give it back? Like, maybe trying to make a deal. But at least he's doing it in federal prison, I guess. Is there a big difference between prison and federal prison?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference. State prison kind of raw. The federal prison, sometimes they have white collar crimes, in there, like Edwin Edwards, governors and shit like that's a little more laid back. They get to cook, they get a few more amenities and shit like that. Less torture in there. You got most, you can go into a whole different unit with just the snitches and shit like that. Right. I had a partner one time say, I'd rather do more time and extra years in the federal jail than the state jail. And I said, well, why? You rather stay longer? He said, well, at least in federal jail, I could be around somebody who extorted millions instead of the nigga around the corner who was smoking crack for 10 years.
I know that's right. Oh, Mew. Hey, Mew. You're going to make some co-hosts. Mr. Cab, you got the host, so you got to.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Cab.
I didn't even see Mew. Hey, Mew. So, yeah, we were just chatting until y'all got up here. Because I'm going to jump in the shower. Leaky is gone out of my bed. I'm actually going to sleep early because I didn't go to sleep until noon today. And that guy already started calling me this morning. He done called me twice already. This was the time he called me yesterday, though, to be honest, wasn't it? Yeah, it was more like 6 when he called me. He called me the day before it was 5. Got my phone ringing. Calling from Africa. And shit. Anyway.
You said he was calling from Africa like at 3 in the evening?
Yeah, I think it was his time. He said it was 11, but it was 6 here. Yeah. And then,
I'll
but
put
then
my-
he called me back at 3. Oh no. So the first guy from Africa called me at 6 in the morning. Then he called me maybe about 7. I think I was on the phone in the morning. Yeah. So it was 2 different ones. So what y'all gonna talk about? Well, wait for Black Beauty. She said she was coming up too. But what you were talking, if y'all could share what you said you want to share. I forgot. It was a video. Oh, over there by Tab. If y'all want to share that, y'all can. It got to be somebody with a computer though, because they gotta be able to share the video. And so so people were disappointed in Big J. So you're saying, in other words, because remember he's done it before. He come up here. There was a white guy up here. The white guy started calling. I think if Black Dahlia came up that time. So the white guy first started calling the N word, and then I got him to calm down, and shit like that. And then Big J
And
came.
Big J started singing some.
Yes. Then Black Dahlia
At first,
came.
you kind of wondering what he's doing. It's like, wait a minute, he's singing to him.
Yeah.
And Black Dahlia did not like that, but it wasn't so much offensive to me last night listening to him on Taz. But it was just weird that when he talks to other Black people, I feel like he's more aggressive.
Yeah.
But he was not aggressive at all with this guy last night. It was crazy. That's the part that to me offends me, because it's like if you talking to one of us, bro, you start yelling, growling, all kind of shit.
No matter what the topic is, even if we all getting along, he starts doing that.
Yeah.
And derailing the topic when it was good.
Yeah, even in other areas, ladies areas, other women's panels, they're like, Big J, but you're scaring me. Like, I don't think some of these men understand that they got a lot of, people who don't want to be yelled at,
Yeah.
and they don't want to be, that's just not cool. Yelling at some women throws them off because they're not used to it, or maybe it's something that happened to them when it was kids, it shuts them down. But
He don't do that when he talking to other races of people. That's the thing. That's how I know he can control himself. He chooses not to control himself.
Exactly.
And also, did anybody peep out that he was using Bomb's channel to threaten people? Talking about don't come back over to Bomb. You didn't hear him say that?
No, it was never a Taz's. Mule. Where's the other
he was. So he was being messy and trying to keep people from coming over here just because he got a wrench. He thought he was gonna show out and shit. Nigga, you can't be running people off from other people's channel just because you're a bumbling fucking idiot and you getting roasted in the chat.
You know what? I had kind of dozed off, and I don't know if I was dreaming that he was saying, "Don't go by Bob."
Yeah, I don't remember
him
talking to Reese or Candy Cane Lanes, but he kept snapping on them because he didn't like what we was typing in the chat about him.
Yeah, it's Sharice. Yeah, Reese. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was dozing off, Bob, but I was hearing him, and I was saying, "Well, why you not yelling, Big J?" I was like, "What the hell?"
Don't they have wrenches though? Candy Cane Lane has a wrench and Reese, don't she? Over here.
Oh, I'm not sure, but that was just rude.
Yeah,
That telling people not to go to somebody else's panel, but you want people to come over there and get barked at and gorilla manhandled. Fucking ass down somewhere, nigga. I keep telling him he gonna stroke out on somebody's live acting like that.
But you notice he was screaming at Twin Man, but he was not screaming at Rod. The whole time that man Rod was there with him.
That's exactly why I snapped out on him when he was that panel, when he was singing to that white man over here, making us all look like fucking idiots. He wasn't stuttering when he was singing to that white man. For like an hour.
Oh my God, that shit was funny.
Oh
man.
God, Kev, he done brought your name up again.
Who, me? Who brought my name up?
Yeah. Big J on his show. Done brought you up
Don't be
again with
bringing
that
my
thing
name
with you
up,
and
man.
Sharice.
Me out there in that damn water. I'm gonna check him out. Why these niggas won't use my name?
Why you telling people
He
not to come over the
always use
bomb?
Mr. Care. Oh
He
my
does?
God,
Yeah.
You
always
do? I ain't-
Yes.
What he
It
be
was the
saying
fifth
about him?
time. It's the same scenario between him and Sharice. He's done used it about
Oh,
5
he's
different
still on that?
times. Yes,
He's
it's the
still
same
on
thing.
that shit with you.
That
and
was
Sharice.
last year.
Yeah.
He needs to stop. And that's all
I
because,
wasn't even worried about this shit.
oh my God, Mr. Kev, this should be crazy.
Mhm.
He wants to be relevant so bad. He'll pull anybody's name out of
Mom,
his
you gotta
fat ass
listen to
neck
this.
just to get
He-
attention.
He just said those women over there created their own misogyny.
What?
Yes.
I tried to tell her Big J is just irritated because he has a yeast infection under his fupa.
Oh my God. Girl, bless all you crazy.
I mean, so I give him
Listen.
credit. Like I've had a yeast infection before. It's not comfortable. I couldn't imagine what it feels like underneath his fupa. He's going through some things, guys.
I'm telling y'all, he was on,
president.
he was on the thing, y'all, with Taz, and Taz put just him, dropped all the women and everybody down. It was just him and Rod. And that guy was saying, well, that's why I'm telling you, you accept. T was saying that shit to Big J face, and Big J was just like, but why you calling me that? He was so calm. I was just like, is this Big J? He ain't cursing this man out. He not yelling. He not screaming. He not growling. I'm like, oh man. That's like a woman telling me you're a bitch to your face. And you ain't calling her no bitch back. I was like crazy.
Yeah, he should have got on him. What's going on? Big J can't be part of the bomb squad and be punked by. What the hell going on?
What'd you say?
No,
He's
he didn't say
straddling the
fuck
fence.
bomb.
Huh?
He
You
was just
can't
saying,
straddle the fence with Bomb Squad. Y'all in? Oh, yeah.
Bullshit, Mr. Kev. I jumped up on that panel, but Taz had us all the women in the back. We only could talk to each other. He had only Big J and Rod up talking to each other.
Oh.
So I was going up there to curse this man out for Big G.
Mm.
Cause I'm like, this bitch ain't gonna keep saying this shit to Big J face, and he trying to be cool. You know, I felt like Big J might have felt like he on somebody else's stuff. But when he over here, he can growl and bark at us, the usuals. I'm like, no. Cuss his ass out, Big J. Big J did not cuss that man at all.
Which is shocking because he get on GMT and cuss people out and growl, and so I don't know what the issue is. Except he white. Y'all ever thought? Well, I ain't gonna say it. We're gonna let Black Dahlia say. You ever thought that he might be interested in say it for me, Black Dahlia?
"This is
Because
white dick, yes. Mad that I sucked the white dick before he did. That's why he mad at me.
That's why he don't like your ass.
Mm.
Oh, and he mad because I won't take his mama to bingo.
Black Dahlia said she ain't taking nobody to bingo. God damn it.
No, we could have been friends. We probably would have been the best of friends. Go to church. I bet you she got some cute hats.
You ain't even right for that.
I'm just saying, we can't be friends because she birthed that thing. But I bet you his mama's real cool though.
You know, the way he yelled, do y'all think he's short? Like maybe
I
it's a
don't
Napoleon complex, you know, like the short men, they feel like Obsidian use a bullhorn when he talk. He actually had a bullhorn on his channel. And he started.
Serious?
I'm
That's
not
crazy.
joking. Yes, I'm saying he spoke through a bullhorn on his channel, and he's short. He's short like me. That's very
Mhm.
short, yo.
Someone by the name of Action Potential, he just finally kind of labeled him a bomb boy. That's what he was talking about. They sure do call him bomb boys, because that's what he did.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, in Big J's chat, some guy named Action Potential pretty much called him a bomb boy. I was like, oh, so you weren't kidding. They really do call him bomb boys. I figured,
Yeah,
but
especially
different
that
when you
That's
see
punk
it.
that's
ass.
the guy
Especially
who
that
I
punk
said
ass.
was the hotel who cursed me out, y'all. That's the boy.
A hotel. Oh, you talking about Action Potential?
Yeah, he
Mhm.
hotel.
Y'all don't remember? He's not a hotel. Y'all don't remember? I roasted the shit out of him. He had Megamind. He got the when I put that Megamind picture up about a year ago. That dude.
I don't know, but he cursed me out on Pastor Channel.
Yeah. Well, he's
Mhm.
easy. He's easy to cuss out because that nigga lie about everything. The nigga will claim he a nurse, and then you'll claim you're technology. The nigga is a liar about everything. And then he went in there. He would get his children involved in the conversation. You're like, come and tell them, isn't it true this? And like that's the type of dude he is. And his
Mhm.
kids are little.
Mm.
They're like teens and shit. And then he'll start bragging about, yeah, my daughter is this and my son is that. And they're like, nigga, shut up. You don't work. Your woman do.
Wait, Bob, that I think, and also I think that's the guy he got to curse out Big J. He got his own children to curse out Big J.
That's what he does. Yes.
Mhm.
That is what he do. He had his children cuss out rude. Y'all don't remember last summer? I think it was last summer, maybe the summer before.
Is that the dude that can't read?
Oh, I don't know if he could read or not. But him and Rube were going back and forth, and then all of a sudden he got his daughters involved. And Rube was like, don't get your kids involved. And then he said something, and Rube went off, right? Talking about get off, like little girl, get off of here, and then he ended up going around telling people that Rube cussed out his children.
Yeah, but even Taylor was saying with that shit with Big J, you put your sons up there and had them cursing out Big J. Now, if Big J played it cool and just went on mute, but if Big J would have came off mute and cursed them children out, they would have said he was wrong for cursing children out. That's what I'm saying. This shit ain't right. Don't
That's the
put your
role he
children up
plays.
here.
Yeah, that's the trick bag he try to get people in. But see, I don't give no fucks about that nigga and his kids because he don't care about his kids. So he already know not to play with me because I cuss all them motherfuckers out because it's his fault.
Bomb, that little boy told Big J, sound like you a fuck nigga. You a fuck nigga.
See, so why would
Big J would have said, fuck you, you little bitch. They would have been dragging Big J.
Yeah, and that's the trick bag he tried to put everybody in. Everybody. Once you know the game though, you don't play his game, so you play it the opposite. And so yeah, you cuss them little kids out. And then you tell him you're gonna call CPS on his ass, right? And mention, look what he got his children doing. Cause they are little.
What reasonable parent would put their child in the line of fire before an adult? Like I always told my daughter, if you ever got a problem, you come get me.
That's right.
Black Dog, he told his son was telling Big J, you a fuck nigga. You a fuck nigga, Big J, you a fuck nigga. Big J, you a fuck nigga. But if Big J would have came off mute and cursed them children out, but he never came off mute. I give him that credit. Because I was saying to myself, I would have came off mute and said, fuck all y'all.
I know that's right. I would have cussed that little nigga out, me. Told him to bring his ass by his mama before I whipped his ass. Okay.
I would have told the little bastard to go read a fucking book somewhere.
This nigga get on here talking
okay.
My son, he's
Come at me.
intelligent. That nigga one time came up here talking about vaginas and shit. These niggas like these ones who think that they're smarter than everybody. They are so easy. That dude talking about I'm a nurse, and he started talking about vaginas, and I was like, he was talking to me about it, like as if he was educating me. And then he didn't even know what he was talking about. Talking
would ask-
about, yeah.
I would ask for the last time he played with his pussy, since he knows so much about it.
I'm about to say, because can't nobody tell me nothing about the vagina. God damn.
I know, man, it's crazy.
Well, you probably don't know
Lord.
why the back of his balls when he showers, but you want to tell me about my vagina.
These dudes are crazy, man. And then the thing is, I never had a problem with Action Potential, but you know, he would have problems with people and then try to come for me a little bit. Oh, he hated the fact that I supported Rude, you know, and what happened a few months back. He hate that shit. They were people excited talking about, oh, she gonna let him go. Like, what? But Action Potential is a whole bitch, okay? That nigga showed he was claiming he was 6 figures a while back until we all seen him driving in that mom's van. The nigga was acting like he was pimping in a BMW and shit. And then one day the nigga went live in a mom's van, y'all. Like, even a SUV or whatever that shit is. He wasn't even in that. That nigga was in a van.
He was taking his kids to soccer.
Oh man. Yep. Like the mom that he is. Like the soccer mom that he is, huh? Nah, he was bringing them kids to school and then coming home to be a stay-at-home dad. My line talking about he in school to be a nurse. That nigga probably was in school to wash some ass. What they call them? The people who change the diapers and shit at the old folks home.
CNA.
And I'm not even hating on the CNA because you know that's a job. And but the nigga was claiming he was being a nurse. Okay, as if he ain't got to go to real nursing school. You know what I'm saying? Don't you have to go to college to be a nurse, y'all?
Yes.
I know. That nigga, you really got to go. You know, you can get a CNA without going to college. You could take a course with them, you know, them schools that vitamins and all kinds of shit like that. You could, but to be an actual nurse though, you have to go to university. You
Especially
can't.
an RN.
Yeah, that's what we talking about. We talking about an actual nurse.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta go to college. That nigga was making it seem like he about to get his certificate. I'm about to get my certificate to be a nurse. I'm like, nigga, please.
No, when he said he was in nursing, he meant breastfeeding.
Oh,
And then mom had the nerve to demote out even his car from a mom van to a soccer mom van. I was like, damn, really?
All you chest feeders need to stop hating on his nursing. Damn chest feeders.
That nigga talk about I'm in nursing school and I'm learning about the vagina. And you women, y'all don't know this. And y'all don't know that. Like, nigga, what? We got the vaginas. You don't know what we know. Your wife might not know nothing about her pussy, but I sure know about mine.
Crazy as hell. Like, baby, I'm so in tune with my body, I can tell you which ovary I'm ovulating out of.
God damn. That's in tune, baby. That sure is in tune.
Yeah.
These niggas crazy. There's a lot of dysfunction going on in Black YouTube. I be sitting back in the chat just cracking the fuck up.
Man, I know I'm waiting to see the tape about unless people just telling me that.
Did y'all catch that that roast that a motherfucker did on me before she put it on private?
Who did it?
Bossy Empress TV.
Oh, she went at you.
Yeah, she made up this whole scenario in her head. Like I thought she was cool. Like the last time I was on her panel, I was telling her that I thought that she was innovative and that even though people don't understand her methods, that if she has conviction for what she's doing, she needs to stay doing her hard work and all that shit. And that I was gonna put positive vibes out for her to get whatever it is that she wants in life. So then I'm on another, like I was in the chat one day. all of a sudden she got an audience, bitch. I don't know why they be coming over here jeffing with me. Wait a minute. Jeffing? That's what you was doing. I didn't even know you had a problem with me until this very moment, sweetie.
Yeah, wait, what's Jeffin?
Like, just like playing like you cool with somebody that you don't really like.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that was one live that she was on. Then she did another live and she tried it again. I didn't get on the panel. I was just in the chat. And just for no reason, she attacked me again. And so I commented on it and I was like, I cannot believe all the lies that I just heard about me. Like, this girl is straight up lying. And so then she came back and made a whole video. Black Dahlia, bring your hood rat horse face ass over here. But I was taking a nap when she did the live. And so she tried to make it seem like I was too scared to get on the panel.
Don't she know you work?
She was like,
got a job.
now she spells her Empress with a Y, but the only thing that she can say about me is that I don't know how to spell because I put my H before the A in my Dahlia because I know who the Black Dahlia Elizabeth Short is. I know her whole story. I could probably tell her more than Google could. But
Yeah, I didn't know who that was until
she's
y'all-
like, bitch can't even spell. I mean, I know I can't spell, but bitch, I spell it that way on purpose.
Right. But people look at it, they know what you mean, so they know. So, you know.
Yeah, well, motherfuckers that can comprehend. And the English language changes constantly. There are lots of things that used to be spelled a certain way, and now it's spelled a different way. Which one is wrong?
But isn't she in the beef sector?
I don't know, but she was trying to roll. Oh, she's a hood rat. I think that her biracial daughter is imaginary. Don't know white men want her because she's ghetto.
A lot of elite
Yeah.
level
Hold up.
answers.
Yeah, she's crazy. Talk about my biracial is imaginary, but you don't even have your 2 kids. What? I thought it was funny. She said that she wasn't gonna talk to people that don't have channels who aren't content creators because they're not important enough. Then she comes back and makes a whole video. I'm like, why are you still talking about me? All I'm saying is stop lying on me and move on with your life.
I thought she had left because I know for a minute she was having a problem with her mom over there. Man, that shit was crazy. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's probably when she was homeless and didn't have somebody else's Wi-Fi to use. How the fuck you gonna be a homeless whore? Wasn't enough pussy to sell this week?
Look, I was shocked because when that scream when that white woman was over here, what her name? I don't want to mention her name, but she came up here and we started talking like she was talking to her too. But then she started talking about sex work. She admits, yeah, I do sex work. Or I did sex work. So, and then she says, no, I do it all. I'm like, what? I'd be shocked when like, don't listen. If you do sex work, what is you up here telling everybody you do sex work for? I don't understand it. Like, keep some of that shit alone to yourself, unless you're promoting yourself and like you got a OnlyFans and then you want to promote. The men will follow, but it's like I'm dealing with a lot of women who claim they're in certain, arenas, but they're not doing it right. And anyway, then so now everybody knows she's a sex worker. Everybody knows she's a prostitute. She claims that she was at all an escort. She didn't call it a prostitute, but she called it escort and this and that and that. So cool. And then like a month later, everybody find out she got a GoFundMe because she got kicked out or some shit. So now that's funny. Like, how you are a prostitute or escort, but you homeless. As long as you got a vagina, there's no reason for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If that's your work,
She was projecting in that whole video because first she said she wasn't gonna bring nobody else into it. Then she started snapping out about Trinity Time Travels. I don't know why she mad at Trinity Time Travels, but she said she don't like her either. We both bitches. Then she was mad at Tanya TKO because she didn't repost her GoFundMe when she was homeless. The girl crazy.
See, I didn't know she was homeless. I had heard it from Grandmaster Troll. Grandmaster Troll.
That's why she ain't got. That's why she ain't got her kids, because she bouncing from couch to couch.
I'm sorry. Wait,
got
Black
kids?
Dahlia. Who is
Yes.
y'all talking about? I missed a little piece of this.
Bossy Empress TV.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know she had kids.
Yeah, she has two of them, two girls.
Wait, but I remember when
And then like she says stuff that doesn't make sense, because she says that both of her baby daddies beat her ass, but then she says that her kids are with their dad. Why the fuck would you go send if that motherfucker beating your ass? What the fuck you think he doing to your babies?
Wow, I didn't know she had two kids. I know, like I remember one time when I first came across her, she said that she was living, she was telling people that she lived with a man who take care of her. And I assumed that it was a white man, because I think that's what she said. Oh yeah, she's against black men. She's a divester. And she's team light skin, which means she always talking about light skin and
She was talking
dark
about
skin.
Yeah, okay. I was just gonna ask that because I think I had her confused with another person. But yeah, she thinks that light skin is pretty much. She talks a lot about being light skin, right?
That's yeah. And
Okay,
that's
so
why I don't fuck with it like that. Me, I'm like, look, I can't be associated like that. I stay hot
okay,
to it.
yeah.
But that
Okay.
team light skin, like as if the skin color could. If its skin was color so great because you light, then you wouldn't be homeless, right?
Gonna still get the same black man. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna mute up. I'm making me a snack. I don't know this broad, so
When I found I'm okay with the divestors. I don't have no problem with the divestors, but goddamn, like you divesting and you against the dark skinned chick. I thought you knew. Why was you over there with her? You ain't know Dahlia?
It's crazy. Like I be all over the place. And I learned like you can't form a good argument against someone if you don't know what their talking points is. So just because I don't agree with somebody doesn't mean I can't listen to them.
Yeah, but you become the target if you the type that they target. You see
Okay, and I'm an alchemist.
like you got that beautiful
homeless.
skin and like and then you got a sister over there talking about who would say otherwise. I remember when she did a DNA
Well, and
test.
she's younger than me. I think she says she's 33. So, I mean, it takes a while for women to come into their womanhood. We go through all kinds of stages growing into what we want to be as a woman. So I figure like just sitting there talking to her, not like chastising her about what she does, just trying to understand from her perspective, like trying to like befriend her, be nice to her. Like she's figuring it out. Bitch, come for me. And you talking about my daughter is imaginary. Listen here. Listen, Linda. Yeah, I think that biracial daughter she always bragging on is imaginary because what white man wants to be with her? Girl.
Lots.
That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, if I told you would say that I'm making it up. If I told you about all the white men that paid me just to be in my presence, and you got to suck their dick and you homeless.
It kills me when people make it seem like just because people are black, first they think that none of us.
She just wants to be seen because she ain't used to being on the stage, girl. I've been on the stage since I was a kid. What are you talking about? And like she tried to say like we were friends on Facebook. The last panel of hers that I was on, I was telling her, I was like, well, I don't really be on social media all like that, but if you hit me up and send me a message on Facebook, then I'll get it eventually and I'll respond to it. And she was like, she played it. She was like, oh well, I'm trying to keep my my personal and my business life separate. So I blocked and deleted you. And I was just like, oh, okay. No big deal.
God
But
damn.
then she came back on that live and say, oh yeah, she was mad because I blocked and deleted her ass. Bitch, I didn't even notice you did it. That's how
Black
much of a
Dahlia,
fuck
I was
give.
trying to delete your ass from the bomb squad because you be going off on me for no apparent reason. But Bomb vetoed me because she is the bomb squad. And I was kind of feeling some kind of goddamn way that day. But you know what?
No,
I'm
no,
so
Black.
glad. I'm so
Black-
glad we didn't delete you because Black Dahlia, you a cool motherfucker. I like
She
you.
is cool. Yeah, she is cool, yeah.
But when it becomes necessary, I will go savage.
Nah, but you was going in on me, man, for nothing. I'm like, God damn.
No, it wasn't for nothing, Mule. I did have a reason, and now I'm
But
over
do you
it.
love me? Or tell the truth. Tell me.
You don't love me.
Do you love me?
She
I
said, I
think
don't
I
love them
love
hoes.
her.
I don't
You don't love me.
That's what our
You
mayor
don't
said
love
on the
me?
stage, Bomb.
You
Say
all
it
right.
with your chest, Black Dahlia. Tell me you love
Alright.
me.
You be getting on my motherfucking nerves
Fuck
sometimes.
that telling
It
me
ain't like
I'm
a big
all right. Do you love me or not? Because either you love me or you hate me. You can't be wishy-washy
You know
with
what?
the mule.
You know what? I'm gonna take another Quaalude. I love you in the morning.
Man, she got Quaaludes, but I could have made a killing with that.
Cause let me tell you something.
Off of a blue-
I don't hate not one motherfucker on here. I don't think that much
sense
of
of
nobody
humor.
to actually hate. But I do like you.
I
I
don't-
swear to God, I like you. I think you cool
It
as
takes
fuck.
too much
God
energy.
damn, you keep calling me, man.
Who called on you, babe?
You want to ask? Oh, Lord, happy birthday.
It takes too much energy to hate somebody,
Oh.
and it gives you gray hair and wrinkles. No, thank you.
Man, and I'm going through enough in my real life. I don't have time to hate
I'll be
people
answering the
on
phone. Hold up,
YouTube.
hold up. Shh.
Hello.
He ain't saying nothing.
Hello. Morning. No. What? Does she know who you are? Yeah. I'm her friend. You know who I am? Well, I'm her husband. Yeah, you do. We're not doing this. I'm doing it.
Yeah, baby. Y'all heard?
Didn't he say that he didn't know that you was married, but you already told him you was married?
Yeah.
Girl, Mr. Mark said, well, now that you know, now that you do, I ain't doing this.
Then he asked him, baby, how's our family? He asked him, how's your family? He said, I ain't doing this. Yeah.
That shit was
He
funny.
keep calling me. The phone's been ringing. Like,
Wait, Mr. Mark said, do you know who I am? Oh, well, I'm her husband. That shit was epic.
I usually don't let him talk to people, but if he tell me to give him his phone, I gave it to him. I ain't got nothing to hide, you know. But I did tell him I was married. Like, my Facebook, I could swear it says I'm married, but it may not. I don't know. I think a few years back, I think I remember putting that I was divorced. I think I did, but I thought I changed it. I don't know. But anyway, when they asked me, I tell people I'm married. Like, I thought everybody knew I was married.
Is that the dude that you told he could be your second husband?
Yes,
So how he gonna play like you? He didn't know you was married if he the second one.
I know. We told her yesterday. I
Exactly.
said, "Yeah, I'm
And
married."
Bomb caping for him so bad. Bomb, stop that. You told him several times you were
That shit
married.
was so funny.
I did tell him I was married.
He's gonna be your second. Then the
I
nigga who
said,
was the
so I was
first.
joking. I said, "What, you gonna be my second husband?" He was so hurt when he found out I was married. He claimed that we knew each other. I'd never spoken to him before until
It's
yesterday
funny.
when I answered the phone. Only on Facebook, like a message, a text. Spoke to him that way before, but that was it. And that wasn't much at all neither. He was like, "Can I video chat to you?" And I was like, no. And that was
It doesn't take much energy for you to become their obsession.
I see. But remember, is he the one who thought I was white? Yes. The one who thought I was white. I'm like, dude, I'm not white. What are you talking about? I laughed at that shit.
Now he's gonna have to go tell his homeboys that you was upset that he didn't want you
I don't give a damn.
on his big J
Nah,
shit.
nah, he gonna
Yeah,
have to
'cause I don't
turn
wanna
his
fuck.
passport, bro, because all you American women.
I think the men in Africa who want a passport to get over here, right? A green card and the passport bros, they should marry each other and they can help each other out.
There
know
you
what I
go.
That's a
Probably.
good idea.
That is. They'll be helping
Lord.
another brother from another mother, from the mother country, and the passport bros will be able to go to Africa, maybe, I don't know. I think they meant for each other, some of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Bomb, I knew a lady about 10 years ago. She married a man who had a whole wife and children in like Nigeria or somewhere. She married this man to get him whatever over here, right?
Mhm.
And they even was living in an apartment together. And then I think after like 2 years, he brought his whole wife and children and moved into that apartment with her.
Yeah, because you know why? He can be married to several wives, remember?
That shit was so funny.
So he can have a wife already and she be his second wife and get him over here. And then he gonna bring his wife and family. He probably paid her, but back in the day, it was easy to do that. But a few years back, quite a few years back, the ICE and all that, they come to make sure y'all married, make sure you live together and everything. And so I remember back in the day, people used to marry them Africans just to get them over here, and they would pay them like $6,000 to $10,000.
I think he gave her some money, but she was like, but they were actually like, she thought they was in a real relationship. And then one day his wife and children came. Like he sent for his wife and children and moved them in with her. And she moved out. It was the saddest shit. It wasn't funny, but that shit funny as shit.
So how
even
would
know
that
who she is.
work? How would
I
that
could
work?
just-
Because multiple marriages are illegal in America. So if he was married already in Africa, is their marriage even legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
It's legal
Here in
here.
America, if he was already
It's
married,
legal here.
Yeah, because he's African, so in his religion, he's an African citizen, so he can have multiple wives.
No.
So-
Listen, in November, my son and my new daughter-in-law are going to the Bahamas in November. We getting married there, but they just got married here 3 weeks ago, right? So they already legally married here because what they would be doing in the Bahamas would not actually be legal. So they get married in one spot, right? It's legal here. But no, the ceremony that we'll be having in November is just really a party for everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
what I
but,
got to
but
do
what
with
I'm
this though?
I
yeah,
don't know.
no, I get that yeah, you have to be like the state that you're in, stuff like that. You have to get legal paperwork and all that stuff. But I'm just confused if multiple marriages are legal in America, how could he? And so that means when she tried to divorce him, he gonna keep his first wife and take half her shit with him to go give to that first wife.
Well, I don't know how the divorce work in the
Yeah,
US.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't really know how that works.
Yeah,
Wife
but
or they married.
but they are married. Yeah, she is an American citizen, so she can only have one husband or wife here.
They had something on I don't watch the show, but I watch clips of like the last like I think it was like the 90-day fiance or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It was a white woman and a black
Black
dude.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Was it that big white woman? Was she the big one?
yeah, I think she is. Yeah, she was big.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was a little short dude.
yeah, he seemed like he was short, and he also was trying to adopt his son's or not son. He was trying to adopt his brother's son without his knowledge and some other shit. I seen like 3 clips. Like yeah, it was like 3 different clips I seen, but I guess something about like at first he didn't want to like give or he wanted to marry her, but then he wanted to marry somebody else too. And then I don't know, something happened, but they ended up talking to an attorney or somebody, maybe from the embassy, I don't know, and said that it wouldn't be legal to do whatever it was they were trying to do. And it was just a mess. It was just a big mess. I tuned out. I was like, if this was supposed to try to get me into the show, it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
I don't think I know which one. I thought you were talking about another one. But anyway, hey, Coach. Yeah, a man from Africa can have he can have many wives and still marry an American woman. And as long as the American abide by the laws. But he is an African citizen. And then he could become a citizen here and still have multiple wives. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the dude wanted another wife.
They're like spiritual wives.
Like, no.
No, they his
Can't
actual
do
wives.
Yeah, the U.S.
A lot of
regular.
men used to do that. A lot of them used to have a wife in their country. And a lot of men used to have wives in their country. Then they come over here and they forget to tell them about it. And then they got a girlfriend or a wife here and bring them into that's my cousin, that's my sister.
I don't know if it's just
My
me,
thing
but
is
you
this
sound
here.
muffled.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's
Is
my
that-
earpiece. You know, it comes from the side and below. Hello?
You sound muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably this 5 and below earpiece. It's good for hearing, not talking. But a lot of them, like they used to come from Jamaica and some Mexico, because we live in an agriculture community. And they be talking about they ain't got no wife, and then they be done move their wife over here, talking about this their cousin or their sister. And the women didn't know that, back in their country they had wives. I don't know how legal that was or whatever. But if you can't afford no home, you could, I mean, even in their country, ain't they supposed to be able to afford the number of wives, and they supposed to all have separate houses, and you got to move out into the apartment? It's crazy.
Nah.
I'll tell you.
Ruben said we here, but even when I was talking to the African guy yesterday, remember he was saying a lot that not everybody in Africa take multiple wives. It depends on their religion. And so he says he's a Christian. He didn't believe in that. At least that's what he said. That don't mean nothing. They could be lying. But anyway, in Jamaica though, it's different. I don't know if they can have multiple wives in Jamaica, but maybe so. I don't know. I never heard of it in Jamaica. Mexico, I don't think they can't have multiple wives in Mexico. But they could come over here and get married, and they can already be married in another country. Because remember, it's 2 different countries. They get an actual legal marriage certificate over here, it's not like people over here gonna look and see if they married in another country. So that's how they get away with it. But they be married to somebody already in another country, and like you said, they'll bring them over and act like that's their sisters and shit.
That would be messed up to come home from work and another woman and her kids in your house talking about, yeah, y'all sisters now.
Hell yeah. That'd be messed up.
Yeah, a
Be
lot
like,
of the women do that a lot too.
talk about their boyfriend is they. You talk about this my brother or my cousin. Come to find out it's a boyfriend. I told y'all that's what happened. My cousin, she married a man. And one day she came home and he said, "Oh, darling, my cousin gonna be staying with us for a little bit." And she was like, "Okay." So she went to go shopping, and her husband and his cousin was in the house. And when she came back, she found them both in the bed. Yep. Both of them men was in the bed together.
Well, you said both men?
Yeah, it was his boyfriend was a man.
Oh.
I don't know how my cousin didn't know she married a gay dude. Like, I was like 17 when they got married. I was sitting at the table when his mother came. His mother and his sister came and met with my aunt. They was preparing for the wedding. And his mother and his sister told my aunt and my cousin that they were shocked when he brought home a woman because they always thought he was gay. That was a sign for me. I was old enough to know, like, wait, if his mom and sister thought he was gay, you might want to pay attention to what they just told you.
That wasn't just a sign. That was the red flag. That was a stop sign. That was a red light. That was everything.
All my aunt worried about was, because he lied to my aunt and said that he owned a business. I remember they were supposed to get married like a whole year later. My aunt had her pushed it up to 3 months later. And I was thinking, like, I asked my cousin, "Are you pregnant or something?" She was like, "No." And I was wondering, like, how in the hell you just met this dude like last week and you about to get married in 3 months? Because my aunt she saw an opportunity. Plus the neighbor daughter was about to get married, so she wanted her to get married before she got married. That's what I'm talking about with trying better than the Joneses. I've watched this shit in my family. Destroy my cousin's life, like she got married to a gay dude.
Yeah, that's how it used to be in New Orleans too, for real. Real competition.
He was from New Orleans. So he owned a taxi company. At least he told my aunt it was a taxi company. But what he did, he owned one car, where he did work at the airport picking up people, right?
So he was an independent contractor.
Yes, but he lied and said he owned several. He made it seem like his business was several cars.
No, he had to be getting dispatches from somewhere.
It was, wait, no, he didn't get dispatch. If you work at the airport, you can park your taxi, right? At the airport. Yeah, and so when people just jump in, This was before, because they still got, what do they call it, Uber and Lyft? They got the ones who just work at the airport. You can go out there and just sit out there at the airport. And I forget what they call the company, but yeah, that's what he did. And his car wasn't like a yellow taxi. It was almost like a limousine type taxi. So, but
I wonder how he hid that from her, because I knew my baby daddy was gay. He kept trying to say he wasn't. Something's wrong with you.
Yeah. He was a big dude, like a big teddy bear. She didn't know him long enough to know anything about him. So, and then, like I said, he brought another man into their house by claiming that's his cousin.
If really he want to be Saucy Santana. Dang.
Yes, man. Just like Saucy Santana. He would wear fur coats and like you could tell now the word we use is queer, right? Because they dress differently, like peacocking and shit. Big red ass fur jacket and shit.
Hey, did y'all, on them TikTok videos, you got this set of 3 men. And for whatever reason, they supposed to be straight, but they always twerking. Or some version of twerking. I'd be like, But have you seen that African guy? He's supposed to be some king. I don't know his name, Yahweh something, who everybody been tripping out about. He walked in all yellow. I mean, all white with gold accessories.
Oh Lord.
Have you seen him?
No,
I
I
guess-
big,
I
no,
don't
I
think
see
is
Big
Lisa
J
Ray
entered
supposed
the
to be
waiting
dating
room.
him? You know who I'm talking about?
I think
No,
you're
I-
talking about the gorilla dude.
No, his name King Yahweh.
Oh, okay.
I heard
never
the King Yahweh. I heard that
He
before, but
be wet. All white. He had these like bodyguards, supposedly bodyguards in front of him. He got on all white. And then he be having like gold accessories, and he look like a reject from Aladdin. And just everybody, he looked like he royalty. You could tell he ain't never did this. I'm like, okay. But when I guess he dating Lisa Ray, I said, I hope she don't get got again. I think that's what they said. He put like about 3 or 4 wives.
oh, Lisa
he's
Ray,
supposed-
yeah, she married an African, right? And they got
No,
divorced.
she had married that guy from Turks and Caicos who, she ended up getting a divorce from. It was real. But now I guess, and that was about 10, 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, he was a
He was
king
the
somewhere.
president or something of Turks and Caicos, but this guy is
Oh.
recent. He an African. Or he's supposed to be some type of African king. They say he's like a scammer. To me it seems scammer. They ain't gonna say they said my eyes he's scammer because he don't really say nothing. And he's supposed to be Shay, baby daddy, Shay from Love and Hip Hop. And he's supposed to be royalty from Africa. So I'm like, how many wives he gonna pull out on? Because I don't even think he's African, truth be told. But
Didn't Call marry an African? The one who was married to the football player from Love and Hip Hop, and then the one who thought that the
Portia.
Portia, didn't she think the Wichita Railroad,
supposed to
Underground
be.
Railroad was a real railroad? She was like, where the tracks at?
yeah, his name.
And
I
her
forget his
grandpa
name.
was a civil rights leader too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Had worked with the civil rights movement. Yeah. And she didn't know that the Underground Railroad wasn't a real train track.
That's how you know they lie. They be lying about their family members. They can make up anything. Especially like I could say my family was in on the civil rights movement too. Because my mom was out there marching, especially when they killed Martin Luther King. She said she went out on the street with a bottle and they were throwing it at them white people.
Truth be told, they say that's what Jesse Jackson did. They say Jesse Jackson was the gossip say Jesse Jackson was just always riding up for the photo ops and wanting to be in, but he went. That's what the gossip say. I had no idea about it.
They don't.
No,
They be thinking.
they said
Jackson
Jesse.
was in a lot of pictures with Martin. So
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing, Black Beauty?
Big J.
Yeah. The guy who's DL, who's an incel here, quote unquote. Anyway, yeah.
Who's the intel? Who?
Oh, I mean, man, I was called by incel by somebody. Anyway, who's on this panel? Anyway,
Who's on the panel? It was intel.
He's trying to divert the conversation. He wants attention.
Oh, okay. Oh,
okay,
but he
anyway, but as for Jesse Jackson though, yeah, like they said though.
not for anyway, Big J. Who are you talking about?
Well, some people was on a particular channel.
Not some people. Say the name.
Put a name on it.
Black Dahlia, you.
I didn't call you an incel. You's a motherfucking lie.
One of y'all did over there.
What you said, Black
Motherfucking
Dahlia.
lie.
Now you mentioned
You see, I
her.
told you he just wanted some. He wanted to get him a piece.
A piece of what?
Piece of meat.
My energy.
No, let's get a
About to
Sunday
get a
morning
piece of
rumble
her
going.
mind.
Get a Sunday morning rumble going.
Anyway, where was I at?
Why is it
We talking
always
about
the
Jesse Jackson, and then we go.
Yeah,
I want to
Jesse
hear what you got to say about Jesse Jackson before we
Yeah,
get into the rumble. Go ahead.
yeah, like they said though during the assassination, he smeared the blood on his chest. He was wearing a turtleneck. He flew to Chicago doing a news conference. Said this is Martin Luther King blood. So yeah, they said though he's on some bullshit. That Jesse Jackson was on some bullshit.
Man, Jesse
what-
Jackson was there. They
I know,
Yeah,
I
was
know
right
he was
there.
there.
He was there.
I know he was there. I saw pictures of him there. I mean, just that the fact that he didn't change clothes and just flew from,
Yeah, but why would he change clothes? Like they just killed it's almost like they just
It
killed
was-
some. Why would they? Why y'all expecting to go and take a shower? Like
No. What I was, it was. If you look at if you look at the aftermath, it looked like it was like a photo op.
yeah, but
That's
that's
what
what
it
we
looked like.
needed. That's helped us kick off a lot of things and get a lot of change. It's unfortunate that a man had to die for change to happen, but Martin Luther King didn't get to see the changes.
Exactly.
That took
Bob.
place. That shit didn't happen until after that man was dead. I don't think y'all understand history.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like them showing George Floyd being killed over and over and over and over and over again on TV. Right? But it was effective. I still haven't seen him. When I heard people say he called for his mom, y'all, I can't watch. Right? I remember that guy for the cigarette getting choked out. I swear to God, it looked like I saw his eyes, like I saw him go dead. Them choking that man. That's the last time.
Bomb.
He
Please
was calling
don't
out for
watch
his.
it, because if you anything like me, I swear to
Mm.
God, I tried to avoid watching that shit, and
Yeah, I
I
didn't
saw
see it
it by
either.
accident. And when I tell you, I threw up for 2 days straight. I was no good to nobody. It was the sickest shit, and that's what started making me go out there and do them protests. So if you haven't watched it, I urge you not to never watch that shit. It snuck up on me because I kept seeing little things where it was showing like 10-second things, and
Mhm.
I never expected to watch the whole damn thing. And when I saw the whole thing, that shit was it still don't sit right. So don't watch it, Bob. I tell
Yeah.
anybody, don't watch
I
this
didn't
hate
watch
shit.
either.
Yeah. And then even with like the guy we was just talking about, what his name is again? I know Big J left, but people, I get where at a certain point people didn't want no leaders. That's what people like. We don't need no leaders. We don't need no leaders. But don't we though? Like, if we had a leader, somebody who will go and talk to the president on our behalf and shit like that, and somebody who come back and tell us how we need to vote, right? Where they had discussions with different people and say, okay, we as this very large group of Black people, we are putting our vote with whoever give us what we want. And then we all go and vote for that person based on that. Right now, we're not even doing that. Like, we just seem to be whoever, like, because Democrats right now seem to be the best, but are they? They're not even too much better than the Republicans. Now we are a lot better than the Republicans of today. The Republicans of today, or should we call them the Trumpsters? The Democrats are way better, but they're not giving us much, right? So wouldn't we need if we had a leader though? Not
We
a
do
leader
need
who
a
go,
leader, but
huh?
the problem right now with the way Black people are is so much crime in our community, and then we want to fight with Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow book, and all that. The problem that the Democrats are having with us right now is not with the Black women; it's with the Black men. It's the crime. Is the crime, the amount of robberies and homicides that are really heinous crimes that are still being committed. and they're committed largely by a small minority of the population, which is look like a lot of us. The problem is they want us to reform all this stuff and they can't reform it. And I
But
don't
see,
want
I
them
think
to
it's the
reform it.
opposite though. But see, I think it's the opposite. I think
Mhm.
they putting a light on the, like you just said, the small minority who committing
Mhm.
those crimes, because you can look and see just as many white people committing
Yeah, but
killings
they're the
too.
majority. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. If you look at somebody that's 80% of the fucking population committing 4% of the murders, and then you look at somebody who's 7% of the damn population committing 50% of the murders, it's a huge
Yeah,
problem.
but that's not even true. That's not what you
That
just said.
is
It's not
true,
true.
Bob. That's
No,
true.
it's not true. We could go to FBI.com right now. That is not true what you just said. They are shining the light when we commit the crime. Yes, that is true. But it's happening in their communities. They just doing it different. They'll kill their mama. They killing their wives. Like, you don't see all the murder trials that's going on right now with them motherfucking white people? Big trials. This dude killed his wife and his son. Right? They got a lot of that
Oh,
going
I
on
think
right
it's
now.
called the Murdoch Files or Murdoch
Yes,
Murders.
he got
Oh
found
yeah, I'm
guilty.
watching it. Mm-hmm.
So but what I'm saying though, they killed themselves. Look, that nigga killed his wife and his son, then turned around and tried to make it seem like somebody tried to kill him by allowing his own brother or his cousin, to shoot him. In the meantime, though, in that same family, his son was responsible for a young woman's death. In that family alone, they found out like there's some murderers, thieves, like that motherfucking family is crazy. And what I'm saying though, the crime with white people is just as they on drugs just like we are. Just more, you're right, it's more of them, but it's a lot of them doing it. But they're not showing that on TV. But they'll show Chicago with these shootings, they'll show New Orleans with these shootings, and Philadelphia, you know. They're showing the big cities, but where these people commit crimes in these these motherfuckers be living in big ass houses, they be millionaires and shit, committing murder.
You remember the cross-dressing white doctor some years ago that killed his wife? But even I think it was Orlando a couple of years ago, they had the whole family that had been murdered, the husband, the wife, and the kids. It was like, but the reality, we know they commit the crime because they ain't never created no domestic violence law for black women. That was created for white men with the white women's asses. These laws ain't never been created for us. It's because it's going on in the white community. So
Are you breaking up? Say it again.
That they're doing.
You put that headset back on?
The fact that
there you go.
The fact that the laws exist is proof that it's happening in their communities because they ain't ever really created women in laws. So there's the fact that white women was getting on this a lot, that you had domestic violence laws and stuff like that, but to do it, and
you're not clear.
It's more.
You're borging.
Oh, I think she got knocked out. She probably come back. But you know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm not saying that black people not commit crimes, but just like you said, it is a small minority of us. But the way they put it out there and we help them, we'll make it seem like it's a lot. And it's not a lot. These motherfuckers, look, it's not a lot. It's one is too many. Let's put it like that. One is too many, but it's not a lot the way they make it seem. Okay. People die every day, people born every day. And yes, it's stupid shit that people dying for. You know, you shouldn't be getting killed because somebody stepped on your shoes. Now, I'm not sure if that's still happening, right? But I did hear what happened in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, and that's fucked up.
What happened?
Doing a fucking parade, which, by the way, if you ever been or seen a parade in New Orleans, that could be a million people on one street. I'm talking about packed, compact. But it was at a Mardi Gras parade. Somebody just took out a gun and just started shooting, and they shot a 4-year-old in the arm. Did you hear about it, Mew? Mr. Cam not up here, so maybe I can look it up to get the details. I heard it from somebody over there by Reg Beck guy when they was talking about it. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, that's fucked up. You know, they're not even aiming for anybody in particular anymore. We got young kids and adults who is mentally unstable, y'all. And they decide they want to, like, these kids grow up shooting guns and video games, and now they want real guns. They get old enough to get a real gun, and then they really want to go out there and just start shooting. What's weird to me is, though, I hate to say this because it's but why are they shooting their own people? Like, motherfucker, if you want to go out in a ball of glory, then go somewhere else. I always wonder why when we burn shit down, why we burn our own shit down. But then I realized, though, it's not our own shit. That's what they perpetrate. When people burning down them stores in them communities, those stores don't belong to us. They'll make it seem like, oh, why did you burn down the Walgreens in this community? Motherfuckers, because if we want to go to other communities, they protect it. Police ain't coming in our neighborhood when we marching to protect it. They go in other neighborhoods to protect those other neighborhoods to make sure nobody cross into that area. That's what happened. I remember in Philly, doing after George Floyd, people in Philadelphia, they got into the cities on the outskirts of Philadelphia and was protecting those areas, even though the marching was happening in the city. Motherfuckers, people, like regular people, like, yeah, we're gonna make sure they don't come here. Just like what that young man did who killed them people. Remember, he was from a whole nother area, purposely left his state to go into another state to protect, as he was claiming, he went there to protect some area. Where the
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse.
See, his dumb ass is getting sued too, right?
He getting sued by who?
Okay.
That's what they should have did, yeah. Sue his ass. Because especially when they treat him like he's a hero. But you know what's weird about that story? Is these black men on YouTube who were saying Kyle Rittenhouse did what he should have did. They were like, yeah, I would have did it too. Nigga, you wouldn't have done nothing.
You wouldn't even got that far.
That's right. When it got this young boy had a gun walking. I saw that shit on TV. Did y'all see when he had to kill people and started to go walk towards the cop? They saw him with the gun, saw that he was right, and just let that little motherfucker just keep walking.
Gave him a bottle of water too.
Yeah, they gave him a bottle of water before the shooting, right? Yeah. That was after?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was after. I thought before the shooting.
And that video was after he shot them. He walked up to the police, they gave him a bottle of water.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, they were celebrating him doing what he's doing. But we got to stop spreading the narrative that we are out here doing all this murdering. Yes, we got a small group of people doing fucked up shit. But that's not how white people see it. They don't see it as, it's a small group. The way it's advertised, it's almost like, but that's what black people do. See? Look what they're doing. Especially on the Republican channels over there. Them motherfuckers attack us every chance they get in Florida, where Koja is, right? Them motherfuckers don't even want to learn history. They don't want us to learn history. They don't want themselves to learn history. And because Republicans have nothing to stand on politically, they are using education. So they decide to go up to something called critical race theory. which
Bullshit.
which is bullshit. No, they don't even define what it is. So now everybody think that critical race theory is anything teaching of black race. Yeah, anything dealing with race. But that's not even what critical race theory is. And they're really against the fact that when they say the system is oppressing people. They don't like when they hear that. But yeah, that is factually true though. And nobody can argue that, especially a real argument. The system is like, if the system wasn't holding you back, you should be able to go and buy a house without any issues. White people could go and buy a motherfucking house that ain't got no credit at one point. It's us who got to jump through hoops. And then even though you might get approved, there might be places that refuse to sell you homes in certain areas. And in other words, they won't even show you the homes in certain areas. So we got people claiming, oh, that's not true. If you got the money, you can live anywhere. That is not fucking true. There's laws on books where if there's a certain message on the deed, that they can't sell that house to a black person. Did y'all know that? They got areas where black people cannot, even if you had $1 million and the house was only worth 250, there's no way they could sell it to you because the deed has something on it that says that they can't sell it to a person of color or yeah. So that scratches that bullshit where as long as you got the money, you can move where you want. No, you can't. And then they said, well, there's nothing holding you back today. Well, if you can't buy a house, even with the money, if they giving you interest higher than everybody else just based on your color, if they deciding to tell you that your house is worth less simply because you are black, you know how much money that takes away from you? That could take away millions of dollars from a black community. Because if they, what they call it, they appraise all the homes in that neighborhood well undervalued simply because black people live there, then them people have taken millions of dollars from you, from that area. And if they deem your neighborhood dangerous for whatever reason, just simply because black people are there, you might not get certain stores in the neighborhood. And when you do, you ever went to a rich neighborhood and did some shopping and noticed that they shit is cheaper in the rich Walmart, in the area where the Walmart is, and they shit cheaper. And you would think,
and they have better inventory too.
That's right. So I don't understand how people act like they don't know this. You go to a Walmart near a black community, and first of all, now they locking shit up as if everybody in there is still. It looks like Fort Knox around the hair products and shit. Then, the razors too.
Yeah, and it's very intentional what the Walmart Corporation does, because where I live, the Cronkies run everything, and the Cronkies it's the daughter, the wife is the wife is the daughter of Sam Walton.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pay attention, like we have 3 different Walmarts here, and the Walmart that's out by the the Lorry's property, which the Lorry's, the wife is also the daughter of Sam Walton. That Walmart, the prices are much cheaper, and they have much better like selection in their store. And they even built a special road in order to build that Walmart out there.
Mm. But yeah, so you notice it, did y'all know when they sell the black dolls, they cost more? Why would that be? Is the darker color cost more, something more expensive?
No.
So And that's what they do. As y'all know that in black neighborhoods, our everything costs more. Our water bill, your car insurance, if you live in a certain area, your shit costs more than other
And there's
places.
also other things that go on in black neighborhoods that they wouldn't do. Like they put things like power plants and stuff like that where black people are. They don't put that in white folks' neighborhoods.
That's right. And they know that shit is related to people having cancer. Cancer and
It's
all
the
kinds of-
same thing. Like you don't see like pawn shops or liquor stores in white folks' neighborhoods. If they sell alcohol, it's called like wine and spirits, not a liquor store.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen where white people come into the black neighborhood just to buy their drugs.
Yeah.
And then they go back to that neighborhood. And I've seen a video where the woman was high as fuck. The needle was still in her arm. Cops pulled up because she was behind the wheel, just, parked. And the cop just told her to take the needle out and go home. But in the black neighborhood, though, they pulling people over. For no reason.
Not even just pulling you over. I remember when I was in high school, when I was dating my daughter's dad, the neighborhood that my mom lived in was like close to the projects. And one day we got off work and we got food and we was just sitting out in the car eating our food because we had just got off work. We was not driving. The police pulled up in behind us, made us get out of the car to search it because they thought that I was selling drugs to my baby daddy because he's white and I'm black.
Those
When we were
fucking
in a black
pigs.
neighborhood. My mama came out and
Yep.
cussed them the fuck out.
Yeah, it's filthy fucking pigs.
Mm-hmm. What you got to say, Thomas?
I just you gotta call pigs out sometimes. They can be all right sometimes. I don't like they smell like bacon, you know?
I like
It
bacon,
makes them
but
even more mad if you call them public servants.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, you said you like some of them. I don't have no problem against police who doing their job, but the ones who, they got the group, who just not doing their job. They criminals themselves. Did he jump off? What happened to him?
You might have lost the signal.
Oh, okay. Come back up, Thomas, if you want to come back up. But yeah, what else we was talking about? So this is factual stuff. This is not. I know a lot of black people like to get behind the shit where no, we're not being held down. But yeah, if y'all can explain to me how there was a point where most of us, if we think back, where your grandparents, or your great grandparents, depends on what generation you are, had homes.
Yep.
Like, especially if you was in the South, right? They had homes. And where are these homes today? And why would your great grandparent or grandparent buy a home just to lose the home?
Well, that happens when they start gentrifying black neighborhoods. Like where my grandpa lives, the whole they are gentrifying the fuck out of our, like, it's not technically the hood, it's close by the project, but it's like a lot of the houses around there, they were bought, like you said, by our grandparents and great grandparents and stuff like that. And then once the older generation, I noticed, I've been watching this since I was a kid. Once the older generation started dying off, like if they had kids that had to like share the house, like kind of what Mule is going through right now, instead of fighting over it, they would just sell the houses thinking that the money was worth it. But like with my grandpa, they've been snooping around, bringing him coffee and donuts, trying to be all chummy, trying to get him to sell him the house. And I told him, I was like, you better not sell that house because the land, because of its location, is worth more than the house. And if you sell that house, you have turned us all back into slaves.
Yeah. We supposed to be holding on to some of that stuff. But you're right, the gentrification, even in that, right, where people live there and they price them out. The rent start going up, and then all of a sudden certain people got to move out.
Yep.
And they do want the cities back. I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but white people moved out of the cities years ago. They did that white flight thing. They took off away from where black people were. And so black people ended up in the cities, right? Walking distance, you don't have to, and it's a good deal if you don't have to walk and stuff like that. And I never lived in the city. So all my life we had a car somewhere, you know what I mean? In the family. But now those white people no longer want to have to drive. Like they're telling us this. They want to get back in the city. They want to be able to walk to their job. They want to walk to the grocery store. They want to be able to, if they got to get on a bus, that don't take long to get where they got to go. And so they coming back in the city. And they outpricing black people out of it. And then they making them real nice. Now, why they couldn't make it nice before? We don't own the cities. Y'all do know that, right? So when they claim that, oh, the buildings are looking terrible, that's because the landlord not taking care of their property. That's why. Things do, fall apart over time.
Yeah, but all of this stuff that they're doing is by design. Like there's so much stuff that's going on in my little town. They're trying to turn it into like St. Louis County it's like the county, but it's a lot of different subdivisions, like different little cities within that city. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to do the same thing in the county that I live in. Like they're building up like on the outskirts of town, and but they're also forcing black folks out of the inner city because it's by all of the colleges and stuff. And they even changed the bus routes in order to accommodate the students. They don't care about the people that actually have lived here for generations.
Mm-hmm. They want to force them out.
Yeah, but they're doing it like quietly, right, little by little.
Yep, that's what they've been doing for a while now, for a very long time. They got the plans on how they want to build these cities up. They want to bring industries in, companies and shit, so people can make money. That all sound good, but then the people who get hit usually is the black and brown people. Mostly black people. And that's because we don't have no area for ourselves, you know what I mean? We don't have no Chinatown and shit like that, where they can keep their money going in their own community time and time and time again. You know what we need to start with? We need to start having stores like cleaners, cleaners. What else? What brings money? We already got like barbershops and shit like that. And even when we do those things, we don't put those in our own community. We go out why when we build businesses, we go into other communities? Why y'all think we do that?
Or black people are so like headbutting against each other. They're not coming together to pool their resources. Like I was so pissed whenever the pandemic first started. I was working at this grocery store, the chain Lucky's Market. Mm-hmm. And they went into bankruptcy, and all of these bigger companies like pounced on it. The store that I was working at was a fully functioning store, and Schnucks was able to buy that entire store, inventory and everything, for less than $1 million. They only paid $860,000 for a fully functioning grocery store. And it was a health food store.
Mm. Yeah, we pull out.
Like, but it's in the black neighborhood. I'm like, if niggas would just come together, black folks could have bought that store. Then we could say that we had something in our own neighborhood. And all these dope boys running around here making this money, shooting at each other and stuff like that, but y'all can't pull y'all's resources to actually get out of the game and do something legal.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Hida, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, Ms. Bone?
I'm doing good. We just over here shooting a little on a serious tip right now. That's all.
I've been listening all night. I've been at work all night. I just got out.
Oh, okay. So we help keep you busy at work. You was listening.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just wanted to comment about the Walmart thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was over there watching another content creator, a lady that I rock with, and she was doing a story about a Walmart. I forgot where it's at, but they pulling out of the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they interviewing the people, and the people think it's racist, this, that, and the third. But my thing is, Ms. Bohm, regardless of whether Walmart like Black people or not, they are a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And corporations want to make money. And the way they make money is they sell product to people.
Mm-hmm.
So stores do not want to close. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whether they hate Black people or not, they want to make money out of Black people. So if they're closing stores, it's for a reason, and that reason is not racism. You know what I mean?
So what you think what you think the reason is for them closing that store? Because I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Ma'am, they're telling you
Mm-hmm.
their profits are down. The theft is out of control.
The theft is out of control. So let me ask you this. So it could be in a Black neighborhood, the store. But do you think Black people are the ones who's stealing mostly out these stores?
I wouldn't say it's all Black people, but if it's a Black neighborhood, it's mostly Black people going in there. Who do you think is doing it, Ms. Bond?
So
I mean,
the white
can't.
People see. So when we go in the store, let's be honest. Let's have an honest conversation. Even myself,
okay,
I could show you a video.
I could
show. Wait. I could show you an actual video of me walking in the store and how that turned out. When we go in stores, they follow us, which means there's not much chance of us stealing. Now they got some people who could get in there, right? The boosters who know how to boost. Most of the time they ain't going to Walmart to boost, but if they do, they're not going to the Walmart in the area, right? We got to think about this shit logically. But a white person go in the store, and as they checking me, I could look over and see this person stealing their ass off. They're not checking them, watching them, and they know it.
Okay, but Ms. Bond, let me say this right here. If the store is in the Black neighborhood, regardless of who's stealing, people are stealing from that store. So that store has to leave. No matter who's actually doing it. You know what I mean? Whether it's all Black people, some Black people, no Black people at all. Maybe all the white people from the white neighborhood is leaving the white neighborhood and going over to the Walmart in the Black neighborhood and stealing their ass off, and the Black folks ain't stealing shit, right? But that store is still getting stole from. If that's your logic, cool. But that store is still getting stole from. So it either has to lock up its items or leave. It has to do that. It can't be like the Black people gonna think we racist, so we can't make a move.
So no, they can stay there or they can leave, whatever they want. But you know what they shouldn't do though? Because it sounds like something I heard before. When you go in the store, they lock up just the Black products. Why they not locking up all the hair products? Why is it that a white person can walk in with no issue and go and buy them some shampoo, let's say they're not stealing, but then I, who also am not stealing, can't go up and get my shampoo, right? Why is it that I gotta wait for them to come and unlock this area to get my shampoo?
The thing about it, Ms. Bond, and we got to be real about it. It's some people that do some fucked up shit that make it unfair for other people.
And they're not always Black, neither.
And I understand that. And then that goes, it goes for all races. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, Ms. Bond, this is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be logical about it. These people want to make money. They
Yeah,
do you
so,
think that
But
do
you, but
think
you,
they
but
wanna
you're not,
do
you're
you
not. It
but
seems like you
let me
don't.
ask this. Let me ask this. Do you think they want to piss you off?
No, I don't think they want to piss me off, but
They know something like that will piss somebody off. They only do that if they have to.
well, that's
You
not true
really
though.
think they want to piss niggas off and stop
Yeah,
getting nigga money?
I think you're not thinking this logically, but I can claim you are. Because the people who want to make the money, that would be the corporation. That would be the corporation.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
managers and the people who run in the stores, though, they can actually be racist. They can actually make decisions that's not beneficial to the store. And then, yes, the bottom line could be affected by what I, as a manager or racist manager, decision I make.
Right.
Yes. And then this store, though, the people, they're not coming and look. They just say, look, we losing money, and they pull out. But you're making it seem like the corporation is making decisions on the ground level that could be affecting that store.
But the corporations do make decisions like that, Ms. Bond.
Yes, they do. They make the decisions of the bottom line, but
the
the people, the managers, and the people who literally do the work. Some of them not even managers. Some of them could just be working at the stores. Have you seen any of these videos with these people?
I've actually been an assistant manager at a Walmart for like a year and a half, and things come down from the top.
Right, things come down from
managers are lazy as fuck. Like they literally only do shit when it comes down from the top. You know what I mean?
Nah. What you mean? It depends on what you're talking about. Things.
There was just an article put out about how it was about Walmart and how like I don't know if it's happening in y'all's area, but the stores at in my town, they have taken out a lot of the regular registers. Like there's usually only 2 people on an actual register like humans, and everything else is self-checkout. Yeah. But since they switched over to self-checkout, shoplifting has skyrocketed. That's what but the reason why they took out all of those cashiers is because then they don't have to pay them if you do it yourself.
And how easy is it really? I mean, I think about it. You go to the register, you got to scan this shit yourself. Then you're supposed to put it on this thing so it can weigh it. But you got the option to just put it straight in the basket. Because now they don't even give you bags no more, right? You can literally just put this shit in your basket. And so, yes, but I bet you, yes, which company have skyrocketed, but their profits hasn't gone down because now they don't have to pay these people hundreds of dollars every week.
And I'm pretty sure that stores are insured for all of the stuff inside of there. So even when people are stealing, all they have to do is file an insurance claim to get their money back.
No doubt about that, but rates go up if you got a lot of claims, though.
Man, if you knew about Walmart already, you wouldn't be so giving no fucks about about what they losing and not losing.
Yeah, the family that runs
practices. Go ahead.
Yeah, like they do all kinds of shady shit within the Walmart Corporation. They put a lot of businesses out of business because Walmart is such a everybody goes to Walmart. And if Walmart like say you want to put your product in Walmart store and you want $5 for that product. Walmart is so powerful that they can say to you, yeah, you want $5 for it, but all I'm going to give you is $2.50. And if you don't take this $2.50, I'm not going to stock it on my shelves. They put a lot of businesses out of business like that.
Yeah, because they want to be the only people on the block. What you were saying?
Yeah, they want to make money. I'm not defending Walmart, saying they ain't got no fucked up practice.
Yeah, but you kind of like. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, when I hear people like you, right, talk about what corporations want to make money, it almost sounds like, you know, how the Republicans have people convinced that, they can't pay us $15 because corporations gonna go out of business. But aren't we in a capitalist motherfucking country? If the motherfuckers go out of business, Why do you care? Another company will pop up in its place, but you would rather not get $15 an hour to be able to live, so they can continue to get millions of dollars every year, every quarter, because they done went above and beyond. Why do we give a shit about what corporations are losing or not?
It's not about giving a shit about what corporations are losing. That wasn't the point that I was making. My thing is that
kind of was. You said they're in it for business, for money.
That wasn't the point that I was making. My point was, we always go to the racism of why something is happening. Case in point, there was a black neighborhood, I believe in Chicago, and they were complaining about it was a food desert.
It was a what?
Well, I forget. I think it was the Aldi. I think it was an Aldi grocery store. You know, Aldi grocery store.
Yeah, Aldi. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was Aldi. They went in there to the neighborhood, black neighborhood, and invested $10 million into building a grocery store, and they had been there for some years. And once again, the shoplifting got so bad they had to pull out. And once again, the residents are saying, we thought Aldi cared about us. Aldi don't care about us. This, that, and the third. You know, but why would if they were racist and didn't care about them, why would they go in there and invest $10 million in there just to have to pull out in a couple of years?
Well, you got to understand business to understand that reasoning. Because they can put the money into that, they can lose money, but they really make money by losing the money. You got to understand that, though, to know that. But who going in a motherfucking Aldi's to shoplift? Nigga, have you ever been in the Aldi's? You got to be kidding me right now.
And I was gonna
black
say
people. Go ahead, son.
I was saying they make so much money, even if someone steals, they making so much more than what they losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with Walmart. Just say even if someone steal $1 million worth of stuff, they making billions. So that little, they get stealing so much. Mother ain't stealing like that. And especially like you said, Aldi's, who gonna steal out Aldi's?
Who going, man, have you ever been in Aldi's, baby?
One time.
You're stealing to eat.
Yeah, so even like my husband said, if they're stealing to eat, like if they go and steal cars and guns and shit like that, electronics, yeah, that's one thing. But if they went into Aldi's to get food, then that tells you something.
Yeah, but if all they sell is food.
Yeah,
if you notice,
all they stuff generics.
But if you notice now, I don't know if it's happening in y'all's area, but the Aldi's now is starting to change the products that they carry. You can tell that they're trying to push us out too. Who the hell drinks kombucha?
Yeah, Aldi's trying to go to like
they got kombucha in Aldi's.
I don't even know what kombucha is. What the hell is that?
It's like a health, it's like fermented, what the hell is it? It's a health thing. No, it's a drink. It's supposed to help with like your digestive health. It's a fermented something drink. And like, cause we sold it at Lucky's, but that was a health food store. So everything was more expensive in that store anyways.
So Aldi's trying to price us out. They're trying to get high.
Yeah, Aldi's trying to turn into like a
it is amazing how many
Oh.
white people are in Aldi's. Not like me, we be going in stores like in my town, and we be like, where the fuck did all these white people come from?
They starting to build them in white neighborhoods now.
Yeah, we got one out on the south side by where the Lorries live, and they're building. They just opened another one over on my side of town.
Yeah, we got one too.
The way that they're, Aldi's is not what it used to be when I was a kid.
That's another one, dude. These Africans, man. I don't even know that.
Hello?
Oh, damn.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine too. How's the day?
Who are you calling for?
Vonia.
Who?
I'm calling for Bonia. Bonia.
Okay, so do you know who I am?
No.
Well, I'm her husband.
Okay. Yeah, the husband.
Yes.
Okay, console, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, yeah.
You motherfucker crazy.
Is that the same dude?
Oh, that's the other one. Remember, there was two that called yesterday. But I don't even. His name started with A.
Live in the same village or something?
Them Africans.
Hey, his homeboy was like, hey, you call him and see if he answer when you call.
They be calling, and it's early. Like I normally never answer. That's why I took Messenger on my phone years ago. Remember? Because they used to call all night, like all night, all morning. Men would just be calling. They didn't even ask permission to call. That's Facebook Messenger, y'all. That's not my phone number. That's Facebook Messenger.
I hate that shit.
So, but what you were saying, Silent, about because you're right, like they make millions of dollars, first of all, millions. If you knew the practices of Walmart, let me tell you how Walmart is. They're in China, right, babe? What they at? China?
They're here, but they
No.
moved a lot of their stuff to China.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about how they deal with the Chinese people do. So they build a factory.
Actually,
and
they buy a village and build a factory.
They bought a village. Yeah, so they bought a village, build a factory, and then they hired the locals, and they don't pay them much of nothing, but the people need the jobs. But this is how they treat these people. They made it to where the people could live right there, like in a dormitory. If you work there, you live there, and it don't matter. The only people who can live there is the people who work there. That means if I live there and I'm married, I live there. But I got a husband, right? And we got a little place down the road or some shit. So even if I want to go home to my husband every night, it don't matter. They charge me rent. And then they charge me a portion of the electric and everything in that building, even if I don't stay in that building. But because I work there, I stay in that building, whether I stay in that building or not. Do y'all? So Walmart is charging these people to work for them, paying them little, so they checks are even smaller. They figured out a way to rip those people off, poor people.
Yeah, they're really shady people. I went to junior high school with the granddaughter, Paige Laurie, and she was in the 8th grade and I was in the 9th grade, and she tried to pay me to do her homework, and I was like, fuck you, do your own homework. Well, years later, there was a arena built for the Mizzou Tigers, and it mostly was paid for by her family. So when the building went up, it was called Page Arena. Well, about a month after her name went on the building, a girl that went to college with her exposed the fact that the only reason why Paige Laurie graduated is because she did all of her work for her. So they took her name off the building. And I was thinking, well, goddamn, I could have been extorting this bitch since the 9th grade.
You should have did it. I was the all that money.
I didn't like you. I know you white bitch do your own fucking homework. You so got you should be smart too, bitch. She's a fucking cokehead.
She said she could have been extorting him for.
Yeah. I'm like 20, 40, 60, 80. Goddamn.
And see, I don't care. I've learned that I care. If we claim that we in a capitalistic country, and we okay with capitalists, and we okay with these corporations, then why do we care if they fail or not? Why are we pulling them out of problems with billions of dollars just so they could turn around and make record, sales or record profits? Why should we care?
But the way the corporations is, they want to be able to pay everything with 10% of everything, and they want to keep 90%. So
that's right.
They make plenty of money.
So when somebody said, well, I remember the arguments with some of these black men here on YouTube talking about, well, they can't pay $15 an hour, they're gonna go out of business. Well, who told you that? You mean to tell me these people who make billions of dollars gonna go out of business because they pay you an extra $5 an hour?
I'm thinking
That
maybe
doesn't
the mom and
because
pop stores can't do it, but the corporations can do it with no problem. They can pay you more than that.
yeah, because it's mighty funny that after the pandemic, when everybody was getting them fat ass unemployment checks from Trump and nobody wanted to go back to work because they was making more on unemployment than they were working a job, then all of a sudden now everybody can pay starting out $15 an hour. But y'all was losing money during the pandemic because you had to close. So how are you able to raise the wages if that was the case?
Well, the government goes in and help them if they need it. Even the small businesses.
Well, now they raise national, but I mean, just like stores, in order to incentivize people to come and work, just so they could keep the doors open, they had to raise the what they were paying them starting out. But now, at the national rates didn't go up until after the companies did it.
Yeah, there's some areas. I'm here in Delaware, and the actual different states started to put laws in themselves. Because Delaware went up to 15, didn't it?
13.
I think it was supposed to be 15 by this year, but they started off giving 13, and then I thought they went up to 15.
Yeah, depends on the size of the company too.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if the company is small, they might not have to get that much, which that makes sense, right? If they not a large company, but Delaware got lots of corporations. At least that's where they used to hit. See, that's what they did. These lawmakers, man, fucks us, right? Because here in Delaware used to be banking capital of the U.S. Every bank that exists was right here, and you could get customer service jobs. I remember when Bank of what it was called, the one who owned Wilmington for a while. They go on another MBNA was right here. Them motherfuckers owned Wilmington. The city of Wilmington was owned by a bank. Them
kick black people out?
Yes, them motherfuckers bought blocks and blocks of streets projects, and then build homes, and then if you worked for them, you was able to get them homes possibly. But then they went under. I forget what happened with them. I think with that thing that happened when Obama came in, didn't that? Or was it before that?
Before that.
Or was anyway. But they put laws in place. See, because Delaware is one of them states with no taxes. And so you can incorporate real cheap here too. And so what they did, all the banks ended up here. Lots of companies ended up here. DuPont is here. DuPont started here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DuPont started here. But anyway, then they put in laws that says, okay, as long as they have a company has their corporation or building or something here in this state, they can put their warehouse anywhere else. And so they start taking their business overseas, right? Or to other areas, but they still get treated like they are here in Delaware. That means they could go to a state with expensive taxes and not have to pay that state tax. You know why? Because their corporation is here in Delaware. The corporate building, which might just be a little P.O. box, to be honest. They corporation be considered a P.O. box where they just have it going to just the regular post office. They could consider that state address for the corporation, and that means they could go anywhere and not pay taxes in other states because, like I said, Delaware, you don't pay taxes. That fucks up not only the people here in Delaware, because we would be able to get the jobs if the jobs was here, but it also fucks up with every state they are in because they don't have to pay taxes in that state. It's almost like when you're in the military. Remember, I was in Louisiana when I went into the military, so I paid Louisiana taxes, although I was living in Missouri. And it's almost kind of like that.
Did Missouri bomb?
Uh-huh. We lived in Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh, okay. Oh, the military base. Okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
But we was right there. I heard you mention St. Louis. Yeah, and right over the bridge. So it was East St. Louis and then St. Louis, yeah. But isn't one of them in another state in like
East St. Louis?
East St. Louis is Illinois. East St. Louis is worse than like they got so much corruption in their government. Like, oh my God, the state of Illinois, they fucked in the game.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is bad. It's bad.
I think a lot of people, like you said, like, why are we fighting to help these companies stay open when they don't give a damn about us? Like, but I don't think people actually do the research to be able to recognize what's going on. Like I am not a big fan of Amazon. And the reason why, I try not to shop through Amazon because people don't realize like the way that those factories are set up for everybody to get this stuff on Prime, they are like fucking with those people, like threatening their jobs if they don't produce a certain amount of work in a certain amount of time. So the more that people order from Amazon, the more enslaved those employees become to that company because their quota goes up.
Yeah.
And if you don't meet that quota of what they say you're supposed to be moving in that factory, there goes your job.
Yeah, look,
and
I used to work
a big company, they can do that.
Yeah, I worked at Amazon when they was first open. They used to be a bookstore. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was what they called a picker. And I'm telling you, that was the hardest job I ever worked. Now, I wasn't supposed to be a picker. They hired me so I could work with the computers, but then they tricked me. It's a lot of trickery go on there. They trick everybody. Yeah, they trick you. They'll make it seem like you're going to do this. They know that most people can't keep up with their job. Like, the turnover is high as hell. There's like 4 Amazons here in Delaware. The first one where I used to work, then they got one in
Middletown.
The Middletown one was the next one, and they just built another one, not right here in Newcastle, huh?
Yeah,
Wilmington.
Yeah, GM.
By the GM, they consider that Wilmington, but yeah.
And they had their big hub down by Delaware City.
Delaware City, yeah. So it's 4 Amazons right here in Delaware. That's how it's cheap. A lot of corporations like coming here, but you're right. It's the turnaround
business plan. That's how they got such cheap prices on their stuff, because they can run companies out of business too. If they say, I want $5 for my product, and they tell you, no, I'm only gonna give you $2.50, or I won't put it on my website. That's why a lot of people are selling for themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna sell my products on there, but you're right. First of all, they want to undercut your price because you got so much competition too, right? They'll buy my shit and then sell it themselves, which I'm okay with as long as they pay me what I want. But if they don't want to pay me what I want, then so there's a couple of ways you can be competing with people in China. Even though I know my shit gonna be better than China, because when I sell it to you, it's gonna be the right size. If you buy it in China, you might think you're getting a size 12, and that motherfucker really is like a size 2.
Well, because it's Asian sizes.
That's right, but they don't tell you that. But they do tell you to go down and read, and then you got to look at this. You got to break down the centimeters into inches and try to figure that shit out. But most people don't learn that until after they bought something and get stuck with it. Amazon is
these corporations do all kinds of crazy stuff to keep their money coming in. Like, and it doesn't even have to be a big corporation like Walmart or Amazon. Like, there's it's a chain, but it's like a franchise. This restaurant that I worked at years ago called Cheerleaders Pub and Grill. the franchise in my town was owned by this Indian family of doctors. And what they were doing, like they own, like there's a Hilton hotel here, like they put up like a apartment complex and stuff like that they own. They own several different business ventures. But what they are doing to their employees is they are skimming money out of their paychecks, because I caught them trying to steal money out of my paycheck 3 separate times. And I tried to tell everybody that I worked with what they were doing, and they fired me. And they got this other girl, like I could prove that they stole my money, but we were servers. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever worked as a server, but you get, at the end of your shift, you get what's called a server's report. So that tells you like if they don't pay a register, the customers pay you, it tells you how much of the money that you have is yours and how much you owe to the house. Well, usually in a server position, you get your credit card tips the same day that you work too, but not at cheerleaders. They did not pay you your credit card tips until you got your paycheck. And so if you did not have documentation of every single credit card tip that you got, they were skimming money out of your check.
Oh, damn.
And I caught their ass.
So when you get paid, you could possibly get paid every day when you work a shift because of tips?
Well, yeah, as servers, that's why most people get into server positions, because you get your money every day.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Like you only make, I think, well, I don't know what it is now. It was only like as a, they have to, so like when I was serving, it was like $3.63 that you made an hour, like actually getting paid from the company, and everything else was your tips that you make. But if you didn't make minimum wage based off of how many tips you made plus the $3.63 an hour, then the company had to supplement and make it to where you made the minimum wage. Yeah, but like if you were making more than minimum wage, yeah, they was robbing the shit out of people. This one girl we had a and I talked to other employees from different company like that worked at the Hilton, and they said that they did it to them too. Like me and this one girl, the Mizzou basketball team had came in for lunch one day, and so it was such a big party. Me and this white girl, we shared their table, because one person couldn't serve all of them. So it was a credit card tip that they left us. And so when we got our check, she's looking at her check and she's like, this doesn't seem right. So I'm like, it's not. I'm like, do you remember that day we worked that party? Like they tipped us very well. There's no way that your check should be that small. But because she was not, I printed out 2 server reports, one that I turned in with my paperwork and one that I kept for myself. They weren't smart enough. They just trusted that company wouldn't try to get them out of their money. That girl cried because they would not give her money because she couldn't prove it.
Yeah, you got to be able to prove everything.
She still worked for them though. But they fired me because I told everybody what they did.
You telling
I'm
secrets.
telling you, got me fucked up. And girl, they called the police and put a trespassing on me because the doctor's office is where their accountant printed the checks. And on that third and final time, that was their lucky charm. I showed up at their office. I'm not leaving until she cuts me a check. And it was a doctor's office. So I'm on the phone talking, telling them, yep, I'm sitting here. Girl, while they was printing the checks, they called the police so that when I left with that check, that I had a trespassing on me. What the fuck you think I'm gonna come back for?
Why do companies do that? Like they know when they, well, I guess.
And to boot, girl, when they fired me on my birthday, on my day off. The store manager called me on my birthday. Girl, we barbecuing. I got a beer in one hand, a blunt in the other. He calls me and he's like, "Is this Michaela? Who is this?" "Oh, this is Ron with cheerleaders. And due to the current circumstances, your services are no longer needed." I said, "Okay, cool." Click. You think you about to fuck up my birthday? The fuck I look like?
Oh man.
Yeah. These companies is crazy. I don't trust nobody with my money. So anywhere you work, you better make sure that you have documentation of all the hours that you work, because they will try to skim money out of your paycheck if you're not paying attention. And I don't care if it's $2. I want my money and I want it now.
I know that's right.
Or somebody about to get their ass whooped.
You know, they had lots of banks skimming money, even if it was a couple of pennies from everybody. You know, they take a couple of pennies from everybody who do transactions a day. That could be millions of dollars a year. Well, yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Way more than
Or what?
God damn.
What the Arab shops is doing around Missouri. When you have the services of being able to accept credit cards, there's a fee that business has to pay in order to have those machines in there in order to accept credit cards. Well, in these Arab shops around here, to keep them from having to pay the fees for those machines,
they charge you.
There's a $3 minimum. Unless you spending $3, you can't use a debit card.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot around here too. The little stores.
But that's the reason why they're doing that. People don't know that's why they're doing that. They're making you pay for your own services.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They sure do, yeah. I remember when credit cards first came out, shit, they was charging people extra just to use the credit card.
Yeah. I remember that too.
You know what I found out too? That you know how you go get a bottle, buy a soda? You ever looked on the side that I remember when I was a kid, remember when you could go turn in bottles, man? And it said 5 cents up. And remember as kids, we used to grab them up and go and get the little money, right? Because it would buy you some penny candy at least. But did y'all know they still do that? Did y'all know that? First of all, did you know that if you go to certain stores and buy soda, and the soda costs, let's say, 95 cents, if that bottle costs 5 cents, right? They charge you the 5 cents. They throw that 5 cents onto you. Did y'all know they got stores that do that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the nickel deposit.
Yeah, they make you give them the nickel for the bottle that you just bought.
Recycle it and then get another nickel back.
The theory is that you'll recycle.
Yeah, that they want you to recycle the bottle and get your nickel back. Ain't that like what? So it's like an extra way of them getting a nickel from everybody. See, because you could take that bottle. Because I remember when a woman told me that, I was like, wait a minute. She's like, yeah, it's the nickel for the bottle. Nickel for the bottle? I said, why I got to pay a nickel for the bottle? She said, well, if you recycle it, you'll get your nickel back. I said, oh, so I got to bring the bottle back to you? She said, no, you don't bring it back to me. See, it's almost like they recycling the bottle, but not.
But you know what they did in my town? So we used to do that when we was kids too, collect, because it was a nickel for a can and a dime for if it was glass bottle, like one of them Coke bottles, how they used to sell that. Yeah. And like they used to have it at the grocery store where they around the back, you could take your stuff and they would count how many you had and pay you for it. But like years ago, they took that out of the grocery stores that had it, and we have a big recycling building, but now they don't pay you. They pay you by the weight of it.
Oh, that's even fucked up too, because the shipping.
Yeah, and they're not giving you as much. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They're still getting over on you because it's not what they used to. I peeped that out, but I didn't know that they were charging you the nickel for the bottle and expecting you to recycle it and get your nickel back.
Yeah, some of these places are doing that. Damn sodas now, a 20 ounce, that shit costs damn near $2 or something. Yes, that's high as hell. I could buy a whole 2 liter for that.
Right.
But the convenience of us grabbing a little bottle, because they know, even the idea of us buying water when it's not even spring water. We just purchased a whole case of water that's in our sink that we Y'all do know that, right? It says it's purified, but that's what the water in the sink is also purified. So we actually buy water.
It depends, because it ain't purified around Flint. I wouldn't be drinking no tap water.
Oh, now Flint, yeah. So Flint is a little different in places like Flint, but
there's, that there are a lot more places, because they just had it, wasn't it in Jackson, Mississippi? They had something going on with their water. I do believe there are a lot more instances of that going around. They just aren't telling people because they don't want people to rise up against their ass, because they know what they're doing is wrong. Like that Camp Lejeune thing that's going around now. How the fuck was this going on between the 50s and it ended in 1987, but we're just now hearing about it?
Now it's been out there, but yeah, it's been out there. The people in the military who was there, if they gotten out, they heard about it. But now there's a lawsuit. Okay, so the difference is if you was in the military, you couldn't sue. You belong to the military, and therefore you couldn't sue, and all they would do is give you some benefits if you filled out the paperwork. But now there's a lawsuit, but that's not even the only post. The post I was on, Fort McClellan, Alabama, that shit right there was the chemical post, and they know for a fact that, because they was closing the post out after I went through. I remember we were supposed to be the last group going through, but because of the war, they kept it open for another 10 years. The reason they was closing it is because they knew it was poisonous. Monsanto was right there. They tested Agent Orange and all kinds of shit on us. And right there at that post, they closed the post. You could see the chemical and how it has affected the whole post. Like concrete walls were melting and shit. So the only reason I ain't dead is because I wasn't on that post that long. I was just there for basic. But there were people who were there, like if they were there for years, a couple of years, stationed there, them people probably dead. They killed off a whole black couple. If you look up Anniston, Alabama, that's which is the city.
I still keep up like with your health, because some of the things that you are going through, it could be attributed to some of those bases that you were on.
No, it is,
because I know a guy that he got some disease because he was exposed to Agent Orange while he was in the military. Yeah. And he's an older man.
They just got something now for the people who was in Korea, like my husband. I was trying to tell him, right? They realized that these people had something on their skin, which he knew about since I met him when I asked him what it was. Come to find out. But see, they wait. Look how long it's been, man. They be knowing it ahead of time. So they found out about Fort McClellan. We found out because when they hacked the government, during when Obama was president when it happened, remember? Mm-hmm. They hacked the government, y'all, and got all their emails and shit, all the Congress people and everything. And these people was in the email, they knew about it. And they kept saying deny, deny until they die. The government knows that people are being poisoned around this goddamn country. And
are you referring to WikiLeaks?
No. WikiLeaks. That was a hack. Did that happen before Obama or after?
No, during Obama. During Obama.
Remember when they ended up hacking and it messed up when people were trying to sign up for the Obamacare shit, they got hacked. It was a big major hack. They don't be telling us all the hacks, but they got hacked. I don't know. That might be when WikiLeaks came out too. I'm not sure. I thought WikiLeaks came out. I don't know when that happened. What year that was?
It was 2000.
It
was 10. It's like 2010, 11, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I know they got hacked like hell, man. They got hacked. And if you look online, on YouTube about Fort McClellan, Alabama, that's when I found out that there were people. I'm lucky my kids came out healthy.
Right.
We met somebody, remember? we were fishing. I got the video. I just saw the video of it. We was out there fishing, and remember we met a couple with their son, and the son was slow. Remember, I don't want to use the word slow, but remember, he was a big guy. And he was born on Fort McClellan. Remember, I wanted to tell him. I started to kind of nicely say, "Hey," like when I found out that she had him at Fort McClellan. And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, did you know? Hey, there was something going on." I was kind of telling them that maybe what's going on with your son might be directly linked to you being at Fort McClellan.
They still have like effects because when they wasn't it? I think Vietnam was when they was spraying that
Agent Orange.
Yeah. And then the women started having babies with birth defects, but then those people are still like passing it down. Like it didn't just happen within that generation. It's in their bloodline.
That's right. It's like the DNA. Yep. They had kids born with diseases that never existed in the world came out of Fort McClellan. They linked it back.
Deformities and all kinds of weird stuff.
Babies born with tails, y'all. And also, I found out where men who ended up, when they ejaculate, it come out like it's acid.
What?
Yeah, all kinds of deformities coming out because of that. And you know what else came from that area? What's the name of that shit that you spray on the grass for the weeds?
Roundup.
Yes, that shit, y'all. That caused cancer with kids. You could spray it in your yard. Huh?
Start with a P. Paquinine or something like that. They got the big lawsuit going on. Well, I guess damages for people who was exposed to that in their jobs, like, people who were landscapers and did lawns and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's even farther. If you had kids, if you used that in your yard and your kids went out there and started rolling in and playing like they normally do, then they found that it linked to cancer from that.
No, it's the food too. If they are using that on their crops,
that's
they found some shit in Cheerios.
Yeah,
linked to the pesticides that they were using, and a lot of people feed their babies Cheerios.
Oh, that's even worse than it. You know who really started poisoning us first? DuPont. Mr.
I remember that.
DuPont. It was the frying pans, the non-stick.
Yep.
Teflon. But remember, there's a movie called
Dark
Waters. If y'all want to know about that, look at the movie called Dark Waters. Then DuPont was so powerful back then. Because I remember moving here, all I heard was DuPont. They were bigger than the bank, wasn't they? At one point. So
that was like DuPont, the DuPont was like the richest family ever since the colonial era. They actually the guy who's I think he was governor of Pennsylvania or Delaware. He was a DuPont.
Pierre.
Yeah. Okay.
Pierre DuPont. Yeah. Pierre DuPont. Yeah.
Governor here. Okay.
Yeah, because he ran for president in '88. Yeah. He was part of that. He was part of that that ancient, that big money family at the time.
Man, y'all got to see that movie. You will see how rich people and how they move. These people damn near made it to where nobody wanted to even sue. You ever thought about suing a company? But now you hear that, oh yeah, they gonna work because they'll put so much paperwork on you, you won't find a lawyer who will want to take the case. Well, that's a prime example of what they did. They actually made the lawyers who was helping sue for them people, they made it to where they lost their own firm, and it was a large firm. A large firm going against DuPont, and this motherfucking DuPont had so much money that they got this thing continued for almost 20 years. And they knew that shit was dangerous because of the women who worked at the factory. They were pregnant women working at the factory. They never used the product, and all they did was work at the factory. And when they started having children, the children was deformed. And so they started taking records. And so the government allowed, which y'all just heard if you listen to this train derailment that happened. The government expect these companies, chemical companies, to police themselves.
I foresee to be a lot of illnesses from the people that was around the surrounding areas breathing in the fumes of that.
Yeah, because that shit went way up in the air.
It ain't
all
gonna
that black
show up for some years. And by the time it shows up, people are gonna be done forgot about that train wreck, and they're gonna try to make them think that they're crazy and those illnesses didn't come from that.
Man, you know how many years them people made I felt like I was crazy? Because I kept saying I have a headache. But everywhere I went, they were, oh, but maybe it's mental. Like, I'm like, no, my head fucking really hurt. Like, they were making, you know what I mean?
That's why I said, Bomb. I think that some of the stuff that you be dealing with is part of because they use the military as guinea pigs.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, I know
they
it
do.
is. I found out.
The government does a lot of messed up stuff, and they will just play like, oh, no, you're just crazy. We don't know what you're talking about. Like you said, deny until they die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're like. I remember one time I got an MRI.
Also, you're a black woman, like that happened with my great grandma. Because the university hospital here, it's a teaching hospital. So they like to use black people as guinea pigs. Well, my great grandma kept going to the hospital saying that she was having headaches, and they kept sending her home, telling her they couldn't find, there was nothing wrong with her. Come to find out, she had a tumor on her brain that was almost the size, like wide of a grapefruit. And by the time they figured it out, it was too big for them to operate on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital and get it checked again, y'all. Cause like at first, for years, I didn't get no sleep because I was scared when I heard what is called an aneurysm. Remember somebody we knew, their mother died. Phil, yeah. One of my husband's friends, his mother died. They said that all she had was a headache and she went to sleep. And they said she never woke up. And they called it aneurysm. And that's when my head, remember, it was hurting. It had been hurting for like a couple of years. This headache's been going on for 20 years nonstop. Anyway, but when I heard that, and I was like, what is the aneurysm? So I started looking it up. And I was scared to go to sleep after that. So for years, y'all, I was all fucked up around here, not getting hardly any sleep. Then I'm on medication. Still had to take care of the kids. Yeah, I was all messed up. I knew I was gonna die. And you know what they told me? I went and got examined and everything. And I remember going, and the woman told me, oh, your brain weigh what it should weigh. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Why are you telling me what my brain weigh? Like I thought you was gonna tell me about, something about my brain other than that, like to make sure. I don't know what I was expecting from them, but when she was like, well, it weighs what it should weigh, I was so upset. And I asked them what the hell they got to do when I'm talking about the pain, you know what I mean? Like I'm in actual pain. I felt like them people was playing with me, like they was trying to make it seem like I'm not in pain.
Yeah. The medical industry is real fucked up too. Like I have at the university again, I have a cousin that's epileptic, and she they put her on some medication that she was allergic to, and she had an adverse effect to it, and she was having seizures back to back. She had to go to the emergency room like 3 times in one day because she's having seizures. But it wasn't a seizure like what her normal seizures are. It was a real weird, that's what made me look up the medication, because my auntie had went with her the first 2 times, but the last time she went, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And my auntie was like, I'm too tired. Can you please go to the hospital with her? Because after she has a seizure, she's kind of out of it for a little bit. So I'm in there, and I even recorded one of these episodes that she was having. They tried to tell her that maybe she needed to talk to the psych department. And like they're watching her go through one of these episodes and he's sitting there trying to ask her questions and shit like that. And I'm like, she doesn't know. Why are you asking her that? It has nothing to do with her psychological. This is this medication that y'all done put her on, because I looked it up. Why? Girl, I be getting trespassings all over the place. They put me at the hospital and put a I was asking too many damn questions. And I video, they was like, you can't video. I can video whatever I want to. I ain't videoing nobody's face except for my cousin. She is the patient. She wants me here. So until she tells me to leave, I ain't going nowhere. So they had security rounded around. I knew I was gonna have to wrestle one of them motherfuckers if I didn't leave.
Oh man. And
but they took her off that medication, but they never admitted to their medical malpractice and sending her home, knowing what was going on with her.
Yeah,
they use my cousin as a guinea pig. That girl has been through so many different things, like, and she's been having seizures since she was like 9. She's 33, and they still can't seem to get her seizures under control.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I know Hitler came up because I know, when we talk about racism, you notice that some people come up and they want to swear up down there's no racism. And it's like, we want to blame everything on racism.
Dahlia. Where's your grandma from? You from Florida, right?
Who?
Dahlia, Black Dahlia.
Hello?
Oh, no, I'm in Missouri.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Somebody keeps saying hello. Who that is? Hitler?
That's me. Yeah, I forgot I was on here, Miss Boone. I've been listening and driving. I forgot I was on this motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Wait,
yeah, but Miss Boone, I'm not denying racism, Miss Boone. I know racism exists. I'm not denying racism, and I'm with my people. My thing is that oftentimes I feel like we instantly go there without thinking of anything else, and I feel like if we have that approach 100% of the time, then sometimes we're going to be wrong and we're going to miss the mark.
But even if we're wrong,
one way, we're going to be looking one way when we should be looking another way.
So, like, which ways of Black people who get mistreated, right? I'm not saying. I wouldn't say that we the only ones who get treated bad, but you do know we the only ones who get treated bad, and then we ourselves will fight. Like against each other. Like when them Asians started getting mistreated, them motherfuckers stood together. And even if it wasn't,
women, they didn't say it was okay to beat my women, just don't beat the men. Because we need to, they did that shit and everybody was on the same page.
And they got shit passed. Like if you beat up an Asian today, your ass is in trouble. They got that shit passed just in that little short period of time because they stood together. And they don't give a shit whether the person did it because they were racist or whether they did it because the person was crazy, huh?
Because they were stupid.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I wanted to.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, hello.
Can I just say this right quick? I wanted to say this right quick. So when they were talking about the stuff, it was just funny in the area that I'm in. You never really connected like these brain tumors. And they did a lot of agriculture night that y'all was talking about. It was like 3 people I know, grandmas had brain tumors, all of them, and for such a small, and I'm sure if we keep talking about it, it'll come out more of stuff that was like specific to a certain type of thing. And you notice, yet you never put together the high numbers of people that had it until these lawsuits and stuff. And I had one to say about the banks. Y'all that flew under the radar, you're talking about the fees they charge you at the corner store. But the banks did this shit. And Wachovia, whatever their name was, Wells Fargo before, they had got things in place because how they was doing people accounts with late fees and stuff and overdrafts. But they did this thing, and it's like, when you have a checking account, you pay fees for it, or you either keep enough money in it that they can make interest off. So the child support people wrote the checks for Wachovia. If you write me a $10 check on your account and you remember, they would charge me $10 to cash that $10 check.
God,
and so
they wasn't doing that.
They do it. That's what Wachovia did. So I'm like, oh, this is a Wachovia chick. I ain't got to go to the Walmart. They wanted to charge me $10 to cash a check that was drawn on their own account, at which the person who owns the account pays the fucking service fee. You don't have not one step in the chain to go extra to do that. And you knew if the money was there or not because it was your fucking bank. How is cashing a check at the Walmart was $3 and cashing their own check was $10? But that's how they feel stuff. They say, oh, well, you can open an account. I say, I never open an account with y'all. You think you finna bully me into opening an account? The way you don't get my account, and it don't matter, is to do what the fuck you doing. No, thank you. I'll go to the Walmart.
And
But that's how they do
it
a
was
lot of
cheaper to
stuff.
cash that check at a check cashing place. And they steal from me, you know what I mean?
But
They
it
may
was
have charged you
$3.
$1.50 to cash that $10 check.
But it's the customer already, their customer already pays the service fees for their checks to be processed.
Oh yeah.
Then
They
you
oh
ain't got no
Wachovia done
threat
done
of
some dirt, baby. Look, I had money in the account and I it wasn't much, right? Because I had lost my job, but I had maybe about $60 in the account. I don't know how the hell, like 6 months later, these motherfuckers started sending me letters. And I wasn't even opening them. I figured they were just telling me, okay, you got the $60 in your account. I had no outstanding checks or nothing. And then like 4 years later, I get something talking about they suing me. Suing me for what? Like
the
who owe
fees.
me
If you
money?
don't,
The
if you
fees,
don't
just
keep
like
a
you
certain
said, they
amount,
just was charging fees for no God. Look, but then even, you know, when it got to like $100 something, which I don't know how that happened, still don't know. Why didn't they close the account? These motherfuckers just keep that shit open and just start charging you
and then
and
they'll throw
charging
it
you
on
and
your
charging you.
credit. They'll throw it on your credit. And now your credit score done went down. And the only way that you could get your credit score back up is to agree to, I mean,
Pay
you know,
them.
they sell it and sell it and sell it, and agree to pay it and have them remove it off your credit if you pay it. So they know that, but that's the underhanded stuff that we never think about that they do. They feed you to death every month. There was a service fee when your account is under X amount of dollars.
I didn't even know that, y'all. Under $100. That's what I found out. It was under $100. Yep, that's when they start charging me.
I just
Yeah,
want to
I
say
have a
that.
client that
I'm gonna tap down.
I have an 85-year-old client that she has been living in her house for 52 years. Well, she said like maybe 10 years ago, she took out a $50,000 loan against her house, and it was through Bank of America. Well, Bank of America has gone out of business, and they sold her what she owed them to some other company. Well, she said she had been sending in her payments to that company, but they kept sending her checks back. Well, now those people are trying to foreclose on her home that she's been living in for 52 years.
They wanted that house. That's what it was. And they know she older.
Yeah.
And they kept sending her checks back. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. You were sending in payments and they were sending them back, refusing to take the payments. She's like, yeah. I'm like, I've never heard of that. So yeah, she was telling me she had to go meet up with the lawyer to see what she could do, because she's like, I'm not giving up my house.
Yeah, that's what they do. Old elderly people, when they know that they assume you ain't got no family, they help you figure things out. They do little tricks like that. But here, what you was talking about, because when we were talking about the racism, you know, when other races of people, they stand together, and those people, we couldn't even get the George Floyd bill passed and none of that. For years, we've been trying to get, and they was able to get something passed though.
Oh yeah, yeah. The reason for that is you got to understand. It's been said before. As Black people in America, we don't have quote unquote a home country. You know what I mean? Asians have China, Japan, all of that shit. This country is in debt to those people. We get a lot of goods and services from those people. If those people cut us off,
that's our fault that we do that. We don't need them.
I know, but I know. Let's have a point though. Why they got the bill passed? They have power because they have leverage over this country. So if China or Japan see they people getting their ass whooped over here, that's a problem. And they can say, you better do something about it. And this country is going to do something about it. We don't have a stronghold like that to fight for us like that here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we seem to be not on the same page, like with the people who say it may not be racism. Let's look into this first. Like, it don't matter if it's racism or not. If a black person is being mistreated by the police or this or that or that, yes, we should be like, hey, just don't mistreat them. Treat them like everybody else. And we could say, hey, if you're doing this to black people, that it's obvious that that's racial. What else could it be? Why a black person got to prove that it's something else other than race? The obvious is they'll tell him, well, we couldn't tell what color you was in that car, but stop letting them lie to you, because we know what kind of black people, what kind of cars they drive. So when they stopped that Oldsmobile car with the rims on it, they didn't have to see what color that motherfucker was driving that car, because they already knew who used those type of cars and put rims on their cars.
But Ms. Bowen, let me say this right here. I know that like I said before, I'm not denying racism. This is what I get tired of. I go to the corner store, bunch of niggas in front of the store, big weed getting blowed, big weed getting smoked, and sold. You know, I'm a cool nigga. I'm a hood nigga, Ms. Bowen. I ain't nothing special. I ain't no high horse or nothing. I'm a regular nigga, Texas, Louisiana nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I chop it up with niggas. I'm a cool nigga. Dude dab me up, chop it up with me. He's talking about they hunting us, they fucking with us, all this shit. And I can't help but to stand there and think, dog, y'all are so fucking obvious out here right now. How can you complain about police fucking with you when you out here doing what you doing? And you obvious about it. That look goofy to me. That's the shit I be talking about. I'm not talking about a real ass, innocent ass person walking with a goddamn bag of Skittles getting fucked with. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about motherfuckers that really be doing shit and then want to complain. And then that hurts us.
But even so smoking weed, I can see if you were saying it was on crack and they were robbing the place. I understand what you're saying, but you ever been in the white neighborhood and see them? They don't really be on corners like that, but they be right there in their yard, like smoking weed. You can smell it coming from their home. But they don't get hunted, but you don't see that. You don't never see where they get the way we get hunted. Even some of them get hunted. The poor white. The difference is though, they can sue and they get paid. They'll deny you though. They'll put your ass in jail. They'll beat a white man and his family get involved. His ass not going to jail. He'll be in the hospital, and then they're gonna sue and they're gonna get a couple of $1 million. But if you get stopped and they beat you, they're gonna throw you in jail. You might be in there for 6 months before you even see a doctor. And then you ain't suing nobody because you automatically assume you ain't got a case. I'm just saying, look, don't you think we should be treated fairly? Like if they're gonna treat a white person a certain way or Asian person, shouldn't we get treated that way too?
Yes, but Ms. Bowen, how can you be obviously breaking the law and then they roll up on you and you say they harassing you? You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. So you're saying they out there smoking weed. Is it against the law in the area? Maybe that's.
Okay, I live in Houston, Ms. Bowen. Weed ain't legal. They just trying to make they trying to do it, but it ain't legal out here yet, man.
Yeah, but
You know,
but they
I'm
decriminalized it. So what they do, they just get a ticket.
Right? I've been arrested before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was wrong. I didn't blame the law. I was wrong. I was mad, but I wasn't mad. I was wrong. I was doing what I was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Like I watched, so the George Floyd thing, do you think what he got, he deserved? Because I heard there was people saying that he got what he deserved.
No, at some point in time, the man should have got off that other man.
But it was for stupid reasons.
Huh? What you say, Hitter?
I thought Mr. Bourne was talking. I definitely think at some point they should have got off that man's neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, let me ask you this, Ms. Bourne. Mm-hmm. Is there ever a time where the officer has to go hands-on? Do you believe that?
I do. I think, but in that case, in the case with that man, first of all, they was claiming that he had a money that wasn't
counterfeit $20.
A fake bill.
Yeah, a fake bill. So what? So, but didn't they prove that was wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, they proved that was wrong, right? It wasn't a fake $20 bill. So are we on the same page? Like they claimed that it was, but it wasn't, and boom. So if that's true, the cops shouldn't even been called. But okay, the cops were called. And now imagine that you got a $20 bill that you got from somewhere. You know damn well you didn't make that goddamn bill. You know, that happened to me before, where I went to go buy something and they told me that money was fake. I know exactly where I got that money from, and I went right back to the place. But you know what could have happened though? That place, if it wasn't for me knowing these people, I went to go, remember that shop where I used to buy hair from, close to your job where your mom lived? Went there, they know me. Remember, they know me. So because they knew me, they allowed me to take that money. I said, oh, I know where I got that money from. I just cashed my check by paying a bill with somebody, and they gave me that money. But they could have called the police on me to say I passed it off fake money. Do y'all know we get money from all kinds of places? You go to the store, you buy something, they give you some change, and they can give you some fake money. Anyway.
Yeah,
so,
and they're getting better with making counterfeits too, because I almost got in trouble for accepting a counterfeit bill. The only reason why I didn't get fired is because that bill did pass the pen test, but they figured it out that it wasn't real because our safe wouldn't take it.
Damn, a safe?
But yeah, that the safe, yeah, but you know they have those pins that you mark over it, and if it's fake, it'll turn brown. But if it's real, it'll just like it'll be yellow and then it'll eventually disappear. Well, it passed the pen test, but when they tried to do the money drop and load it into the safe wouldn't take it. That's how they knew it was fake.
God damn.
And the only reason why I didn't get fired is because I did do the pen test on it and it passed.
Yeah, they spray something on the bill to make it pass the pen test.
God,
some of these dudes are even more determined than that. So there was a dude that was counterfeiting money. What he would do was he would get $1 bills and then a water pick for your teeth and wash all the ink off the bill and then Xerox it with $100 bill.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that.
Paper.
Yeah, so it was on the same paper.
Yep, I've heard of that too.
And then because it was a commercial grade copy machine, the green ink was a near match. And then because it was the same paper, it would pass the test, but it didn't have a watermark or the strip that bills like $5 and up have now.
Damn.
Did you know that they can even with those bills with the strip in it, they can take those strips out and put it in something else and do counterfeit like that too?
God damn.
Because I watched this video where a person showed you how to pull that strip out of the money.
Yeah, if you're gonna try and fool it with the strip, you have to do the homework to know what color strip is in what dollar bill.
Oh, so it's different
Yeah,
strips
it's
and
different
different.
colors and different bills.
God damn, people going through all that. So anyway, this man goes there, and I think the young man said he did call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said he called the police, but I don't think he knew that it would be. So old dude is claustrophobic, big and tall, like taller than you, I think, right? And he was like, "Don't put me in there, bruh." Like in the back seat. He like, I didn't do anything. They claimed he was on heroin or like all types of drugs, but they never proven that. Then, in fact, they proved that he wasn't on drugs. But we find all that out after he's dead, though. So it's weird to me when I watch some of these black men on here talk about he should have did this, he should have did that. You only know how a person feels if you experienced it. If you're claustrophobic, that your mind won't even let you do certain things. Get in those small spaces. To you, the back seat might not be small. To me, the back seat not small. But to a man who's 6'6", that back seat was small. And he begged him. He like, can you get some? Like, call the supervisor, call somebody, bro. Don't put me in there. He even said I'm claustrophobic. He was even okay with him. Like, okay, you got me on the ground. Like, just get off my neck, though. That man, watching that man be on that man's neck for all that time, and while people was begging him to get off, don't do this, beg. That nigga belong on death row, as far as I'm concerned. That's a racist man, though. So you might say that's just a policeman, but I'm saying that man was so racist that he didn't give a shit how many black people asked him to treat him with decency. That he wanted to prove that his white skin and that uniform could make any of us who's black, where he could mistreat us like that. I don't know why people see that any other way. Did you see that, man?
Yeah, that was definitely brutality, racism right there.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a misunderstanding of that. So
no,
Michael Brown, they was claiming that Michael Brown did something wrong. Did you know the common thing is to say, hey, I was threatened, and hey, he was big and black.
Yeah, they made all kinds of lies up about that Michael Brown situation. First of all, that video that was circulating that they tried to say that they called the police because he stole something from the store. That video was not from the day that he was killed. And the reason why them people lied on that man is because they was buying weed from him.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I heard that they didn't even lie on him. I heard that it was the cops. They just wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, the police in certain sectors of St. Louis, they real fucked up. Like, they did. You heard about all the people that they killed after, like the activists that got killed.
Yeah,
right, that testified.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was one dude, his mom was an activist. It wasn't even him that was doing it, but they lynched her son in her own backyard and said it was a suicide.
Oh yeah. Did they ever do anything about that? Or no?
No, the state of Missouri is crooked as fuck. They told Dred Scott in 1857 that a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. They don't give a fuck. Like, right after that Mike Brown situation, I was living in St. Louis for like a year. And what section? I think it was Berkeley. It was a subsector of Berkeley. I was on my way to work one day and I saw this dude. He took out running across the street trying to run from the police. But the police caught him in this backyard. Like, all he did was run across the street, and they caught him right across the street in the backyard. But instead of handcuffing this man, they commenced to try to beat the shit out of him. I stopped traffic and started recording. I said, you got him down on the ground. That's
Beat
enough. You need to put him in his cup.
I don't want nobody else.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the stuff that they be doing around. Yeah, so that's why they be wilding out. Like there was a dude.
Wait, so let's wait. What you would say here? Because it sounds like you saying.
Oh no, I was talking to somebody.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
know
There was like that George Floyd situation, but it was reversed. What I can't remember what the little subsidy is, but it was also in St. Louis. This dude had went into like this it was like a kind of like a grocery store to check, but the check was fraudulent, and they police on him. The police tried to like fuck him up, and he ended up killing the police. So he in jail for murder of a cop because they called the police on him because he had a fake check.
Man. But yeah, man.
Yeah, so the racism within the police system is different. Like each institution shows their racism in different ways. So that's why it's kind of hard for Black people not to be so up in arms and think that everything is racism, because it changes based on which part of the system you're working with.
Hell yeah. And most of the time it is some racism. You know what I mean? Like they got laws that focus on us. And then you'll say, well, it's on the law and they'll get a white person. Yeah, a white person may get caught under it too, but that's because, you know, he living just like us. So I don't understand when people don't understand that racism is a very large, like they can stop us where we live. They can, the jobs that we have, where our kids go to school. They want to stop you from driving in certain neighborhoods. It might be the neighborhood you live in. Can you imagine living in a neighborhood where every time you go in it, you getting stopped? Or one of your family members who happen to be Black, your kids, you get scared for your kids, because even if this happens especially if you have built some wealth and decide to move out and to go into nice neighborhoods. That's when you will see that racism on a larger scale.
Like what was that Black man that met with Obama because the police got called on him because they called the police saying that he was breaking into his own house?
Oh yeah, he's right here on YouTube. What's his name? The guy who do the Black shows, the history shows,
and like
similar
doing
to Tariq, but
Henry Louis Gates.
Yeah, Gates. He was in his own house. The police dragged his ass out of his own house. It was his own house.
But they figured the neighborhood that it was in, ain't no way that nigga should be there.
That's right. Now, clear racism in your own house. In fact, there's videos that we watch. What's the name of this? Audit or something like that. Audits the police. They you see Black people getting mistreated all the time in their own house, on their own porch. Then a couple of Black men, one of them was a real estate agent who was showing another Black man a home, and they called the police on him, and the police wouldn't believe, even though the dude had the key to the home. He said, I'm a real estate agent. They mistreated him until they could prove. Then you got to figure out how you're going to prove it. On a Saturday with two Black men at a house that's for sale. And if it wasn't for another cop coming to stop the other cop, he was ready to put both of them in the car, in handcuffs. They had him in handcuffs already. Why is it that even when they questioning us, why they put us in handcuffs first? Especially if you're a Black man, you get in your handcuffs, you don't even look like you're dangerous, really. But they feel like, and you don't think that's degrading? That's degrading.
It's intimidation. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
How many Black people want handcuffs on? Like, we know that's a mental thing right there. I know some of you men might be able to just put your hand behind your back, But most people want to know, what did I do? And you want to pull away like, hey, don't put the handcuffs on me.
Oh, then that's resisting.
Yeah, then it's resisting.
But yeah, they'll do that, charge you with resisting, but they can't tell you what the original charge was that you was resisting from.
And come to find out, in some of these states, you don't even have to be charged with anything to be charged with resisting. That's how they got around it. Because look, if I'm charged with resisting, tell me what was you charging me with from the beginning? Some states where they got to prove did they have a valid reason? And some states, just the resisting alone can stand by itself.
Even if you don't even have to really it just depends on the cop that you run into. Like years ago, I had a house where I had 2 roommates, and the police had pulled somebody over in front of our house, and they had like 4 or 5 cars, and they were blocking my driveway. And my roommate had to go get my other roommate from one job and take her to another job. So we politely asked the police, not even in their business, we don't give a damn what you're doing to that man out on the streets. Can you please move this car so that she can get out of the driveway and get to our roommate, get her to her second job and stuff. So they told us that we was obstructing
justice.
Obstructing, because I asked them to move. Yes. And so we got this one police. Oh my God, Brodemarco, that motherfucker, he fucked with everybody in the town. Like my friend had put her, she was babysitting her niece. So she had put the baby in the car and started it and stuff and was like, hey, can you move your car? Because I need to go get my roommate. So Brodemarco walked up on the car like he was gonna open the car to search it. And she shut the door. He pushed her. She pushed him back. Like, wait a minute. I called my mama real quick. Mama, you better get a sergeant or somebody over here because it's about to go down. And then they started fucking with me, talking about, what's your name? You don't need to know my name.
Yeah.
But I told them my first name. So then they ran me in, and then they came back and they called me by my last name. And I said, I never told you that was my last name. I just gave you a name to identify me as. And so then there was a bitch cop that was with them. Like they came to the door because I had to go in the house to get the phone. They came to my door and there was like a little baggie or something in the yard. So the bitch picks it up and sniffs it at like she's gonna get something to charge us with. I told the bitch, I said, bitch, lick it and you might get high. The fuck out of my yard. You're trespassing. I didn't call you here. Get out of my yard. Your job is out there on the streets. Go handle that.
And but some of these people say the way you talk to the cop, you deserve it. But they are just people. We got the freedom of speech.
Right. And we didn't do anything wrong.
And you do nothing wrong.
You're blocking my driveway.
They'll say, well, it was a cop and you shouldn't have spoke to them that way. Hell yeah. I watch the videos where the cops, they can't come in your home, right? Without a warrant, but they'll put their foot in the door so you can't close the door. Talking about don't close the door.
Yep,
you
they
can
tried
close
that
the door
on
if
me.
you want.
Yep. They thought that, yeah, like my daughter had this little thing. She was flipping out when she got 16, thought she was grown. And so the police ended up coming to our house because and they were saying, oh, well, we think that she might be suicidal and we need to take her to the hospital. I said, don't you see 3 cars over here? If I feel like my daughter needs to go and be seen by a doctor, do you think that I wouldn't take my daughter in? I was like, I don't give a fuck that y'all got on blue uniforms and a badge. Why the fuck would I allow my daughter to get in a car with 2 grown ass men that I don't know? I don't know you. You ain't taking my daughter nowhere. And yeah, he put his foot in my door because I would not invite them in my house. And I was like, you need to call your sergeant. And the sergeant got there and had to let them know, no, you can't do this to her.
Is there something though?
Hello?
In my town, they do all kinds of fucked up shit to Black people.
What you were saying, Hitter?
Hey, I was watching Fight Club one night, and that one of them dudes, wife had started tripping with him or whatever, they were getting into it. And on camera, The law came to the door, escorted her in, put his foot in the door. She was there to get her stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like she had called law, she could get in and get her stuff. So lawman come there, she walk in, lawman put his foot in the door, so dude can't shut the door and shit. Then he heard everybody on the panel say he ain't supposed to do that, he ain't supposed to do that, then he moved that foot.
Yeah. Because he's not supposed to do that. He don't have the right to put nothing inside your house unless he's invited. Now the thing is, she could have invited him in if that was her house. She could have said, "Come on in," and then his ass would have the right to come on in. No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because both of them, you know, even if hubby say no and I say yeah, you know they're gonna come in when I say yeah because I invited them in.
Yeah, she
yeah,
you got right, you know.
Yeah. But they're not supposed to do that. But they don't care when it comes to certain people, they don't care. And I don't think it's always just blacks. I think certain whites, when they look at them and they size them up and see that they probably ain't gonna do shit, you know what I mean? They mistreat them too.
Yep.
But they get handled different though.
Yeah, oh yeah, they handle them differently because their parents are friends with like the prosecutors and the judges and stuff like that. So if they want to keep their job, they can't go mistreating somebody that could quite possibly get them fired. But if they know you can't do shit to them, they gonna fuck with you all they want to get their rocks off. The girl that I was telling you pushed that police, I think that was in 2003 or 2004 when that incident happened in our front yard. In 2006, that friend, along with two of my cousins, was killed in a car accident by CPD because they sent him on a high-speed chase, the dude that she was messing with, my cousin's stupid ass, and they were like getting off of a highway exit, like on a ramp, and there was an 18-wheeler parked on the side sleeping, and the police tried to do a cops move and fishtail the back end of their car. Well, they ended up shoving the car up underneath that 18-wheeler. The car was split in half twice, and they were like, one was partially decapitated, the other one was completely decapitated, the third one was thrown from the car. And they got away with it because they said that they called off the chase. But there was a friend of mine that saw the chase and followed them. She saw body parts flying from the car. She told me the story of what happened. She said, no, they're lying. They were still chasing them. They did that.
Man.
Yeah, all because she pushed him back whenever he was trying to intimidate her. They knew who she was.
And we know they do that, right? Because what happened with that young woman? Didn't she die? They shot her and her son. Remember that she was claiming to be Sabit. Is that how you say it? Sabit?
Oh, Corinne Gaines.
Yeah. Remember, every time they always stopped it. What she would claim was that they were kept always stopping her. They knew what vehicle she was in, and they would always mess with her. And what did they go in her house for anyway? Do anybody remember?
No, it wasn't even for her. Her baby daddy had a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
And they was there for him. But he had left with the other kid already.
Mm-hmm.
And she was refusing to open the door to let him in.
Oh, and they shot through the door, right?
No, I think what happened was I think they lived like in an apartment complex, and they knew that she had guns in there and shit. So they had the like maintenance or whoever has the master key open the door to let them in.
Oh shit. That's probably why she had ended up getting the gun, because she didn't know who that was opening the door.
No, it was like a standoff. It was going on for a little bit, and the police got pissed off that she was not letting them in, so they bullied their way up in her house. And that's how. And her son wasn't killed, but he was shot.
Yeah, wasn't he like 3?
3 or 4, somewhere around in there.
Man.
Yeah, because the boy that they was actually looking for, they had a daughter too, but she was a baby, so he took the baby and left.
Mm.
But they wasn't even there for her. They was there for him.
And she said that he wasn't there, and what, they didn't believe her.
I guess, but she didn't open the door.
Yeah, and well, she didn't have to. So that's what was weird, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, she ain't got to open the door unless they had a warrant. And even if they had a warrant, yeah, she might have to open it. It depends what the warrant states. But if she say he's not here, they hurry up and just look to see he's not here, and then go about their own business.
No, there are police that do that. Once they know your name, they will just fuck with you until they figure they can find a way to put you in jail for something.
Yeah. I remember that she was saying that she was sovereign. I think you could do some shit like that in certain states like Washington, D.C., right? Because it's a district. Something I heard. I was going to look it up to see what they mean when people say they're sovereign. I don't think, yeah, because they be telling people you don't have the permission, you don't have the right. I don't think they know that don't work in all states.
I'm not sure if that's even valid in any state. I think that was some of that that Hotep shit.
Yeah, but she was getting like she was able to drive without having a license and something else. Because every time they stopped her, they knew that she didn't have these things. That's why they would stop her. And they would give her a ticket. But then she would beat the ticket because of her sovereignty. So it was working. She's one of the people where she was like getting things thrown out. Because I remember her being on YouTube. I think it was YouTube.
Yeah, I think she was on Facebook Live whenever that happened.
Oh, damn.
I do believe that girl was on Facebook Live when it happened, because she was saying, no, they gonna do this to me. And she told them that they was gonna have to kill her.
And they didn't kill her. She had that baby that they
No,
killed.
I don't think it was that day, but there was one time, because she always recorded. There was one time that they had pulled her over and was fucking with her, and she had her kids in the car, and they were threatening her. They were like, oh, well, if you don't do this, we're going to take you to jail, and we're going to have CPS come get your kids.
Yeah, I remember that. I saw that video.
Yeah, they had been fucking with that girl for a minute.
Yeah. They don't like when you have to have some information. But once you start using that sovereignty stuff, they start changing laws so people can't use it.
It's crazy that police be doing all that stuff, because most police officers that sent out on the scene, they're unaware of the laws that they're even supposed to be enforcing. They don't even know the law.
They sure don't.
Most of them like that. I think you don't have to go to college to be a police. You just got to go like through their little academy thing, right?
Yeah, and they picking niggas up off the street now to be police.
Yeah, they need police bad.
But they're not picking them up the way like I hear the people say, oh, they lowered their standards. They
offering all type of incentives and shit like that, and they desperate. But about that situation you were just talking about that girl, I'm really pissed off at the nigga she was with. Because first of all, the nigga she was with put all that Hotep bullshit in her head. Because that shit's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. And he put that bullshit in her head, and when the shit went down, that motherfucker jumped out the back window and left her.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't open the door.
Huh?
He filled her head up. He filled her head up with that bullshit. She went up in front of them loud face with that bullshit. They came to get her, and his coward ass jumped out the window. Jumped out the window with his baby, not any of the rest of her. He had a child with her. She had some more kids.
She had one older one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why didn't he take both kids? But I didn't know. I kind of figured that the little boy wasn't his. Yeah, the baby was little, like pumpkin seed little.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had So he had rent. I thought you meant that maybe before they got there, he had left. You know what I mean? Like went to the store with the baby or something. But you saying he was in there when all
No,
the shit would happen, but he jumped out and left.
he jumped out the back window.
Yeah, while they was at the front.
And he didn't get caught. That's why they probably.
I don't know whether he caught him or not, but I know he jumped out the window, and I know she got killed and he didn't.
Yeah, that's fucked up right there. You're right. I need to look into that story some more. Yeah, that. So yeah, when you say blame him, I get it. You know, I don't know about blaming him for her death, but yeah, he had something that you say he pumped her head with that, but she was a grown woman. I thought she wasn't already hotel through her family.
Nah, I think she was cut off from the rest of it. It was one of them hotel situations. He had complete control of her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I know she was pretty. She was a pretty young woman.
I wonder whatever happened to her son. Because I know that little boy still got to be messed up in the head over getting shot and watching his mama die. And like, how do you explain that to a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
And I need to look into that too, because I don't know if her family sued that police force and if they got anything for that little boy getting shot.
That is a good question. He should have got something,
Hell yeah, they should have paid the hell out of him. You can't bring his mama back, but you shot him too. I don't remember the little boy's name though.
Yeah, what? Mew went to sleep on me. Carrie, you still here?
Everybody sleep.
Everybody went to sleep. Because I'm about to log off of here.
Well, shit, y'all ain't finna leave me up here by myself. I'm going to sleep.
I know that's what I was about to ask you. And I know Hit about to probably go, but I'll be back later, y'all. I'll be back later. Or when Devastating or somebody, I think Mew said she going live today, so I will probably be over there later. If not, we'll be here later tonight.
All right. See y'all.
Okay, nice
later.
talking to you, Black Dahlia. Look, she came up, y'all. She ain't cussed nobody out this morning. That's because big.
No, I did. I told Big J he's a motherfucking lie.
She did. Yes, she did.
She said I called him an incel. No, I did not. I said I wasn't taking your mama to bingo tonight because she let you live. And I feel like you irritated because you have a yeast infection under your fupa. That is what I said. Don't be trying to lie on me. So yes, I did cuss. I'm admit to it, but it was only one time. But I'll see you later, Bomb.
Okay, see you later.
All right, bye.
What'd you say, babe?
He's in the washer.
Oh, you about to wash him? Okay, y'all, I'm gone. I'll see y'all later. Mew, tell Mew to call me when she's ready to go live, or just let me know she live. I'll probably sleep though, but if she on later tonight, I'll come over there. I'm gonna check on her. Okay, I'm going.